is Eagle Thrust 7. We've got it spotted.
Big Duke 60, Eagle Thrust. Put on heading 270. Assume attack formation.
That's a roger, Big Duke. Okay, we're going in.
From now.
WTF Nation Radio. WTF Nation Radio.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Do you ever have one of those moments where you think, how the hell did I get here? Jeez, what happened to me? I was ruling the galaxy. Had a cherry new battle station. I mean, this place had an omelet bar. A straight-up omelet bar. And now look. My former intern's tossing me down a bottomless freaking pit. You know, come to think of it, my whole life has been a series of what the moments. That was my out.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Freedom is the right of all sentient beings.
I looked my woman in the eye sockets. I told her straight out. I just said it, man. I said it. I said, bitch, I'm the man of the house.
Yeah, you said bitch, though. You called your wife a bitch.
Yeah.
Is that actually a picture of the Antichrist crying? I like it. It's tasty.
This is a public service announcement from C.T. Fletcher. I will not contribute to the pussification of a nation. Get your punk ass out there and work for it, motherfucker.
Let's roll.
What's going on, guys? This is WTFNationRadio.com's Monday Edition with myself, Ice and Flash, joining me today. Shots. So, thought I'd throw a little tribute out to somebody who I remember right before joining the Army in his ever profane glory, R. Lee Ermey. That role was, I think, what signified or solidified his place as a military icon. I don't give a shit what anybody else. Name your icons left and right. Go talk about whoever's this. To include all the way up to now, no one will ever surpass, I think, in my lifetime, Lee Ermey. I think personally that it's one of those things when right before I joined the Army, Full Metal Jacket came out. And they showed some scenes, some previews, and I'm like, oh, that's one of the helicopter pilots from Apocalypse Now. And so, no big deal. And then my dad's like, well, you're about ready to ship off to basic training. Let's go watch this movie. Besides, it's about Nammo and check it out. I'm like, all right, so there I am with my dad watching Full Metal Jacket. And I thought, holy fuck. If there's anything that at anything will not fucking just send a shiver down your fucking spine, was that, because he doesn't look at all. He looks like one of your neighbors that waves hi at you when you're mowing your lawn or something like that. And as soon as I saw that, there was a couple, that one scene when he fucking found the unsecured footlocker. My dad, the reason why I play that is my dad tapped me. He's like, better make sure your shit's secured. And at that point, I was like, whoa, this motherfucker's hitting people. This is the shit that happened. I mean, my dad went to Vietnam in the 60s and stuff. So I mean, come on, that's his army. So at that time, drill sergeants were racking and stacking privates left and right. And there was no. You had really had to either you will die, or get thrown in a stockade, or just get the fuck thrown out back in that day. There was no such thing as failing basic training. I mean, you were that type of brutal. What people will call hazing today. I thought it was like, wow, fuck, holy shit. Because at the time, I was going to join the Marine Corps. And I was back and forth between the services, between the two. So I saw that. I was like, whoa, my fucking God. Now, don't get me wrong. When I finally went to basic training, I did not at all. Well, I was not disappointed. Although they weren't smacking motherfuckers around, they were still in the shoving phase, I guess you would say, the poke phase and all that. They weren't doing the Gunnery Sergeant Hartman type thing. And that point, I was like, and then, the comment about being in the Marine Corps, every Marine is your brother. I mean, even back in the 1960s, the Marine Corps, because what fascinating trivia about Lee Ermey's portrayal as that drill sergeant is that most of it, he was the only actor in Stanley Kubrick's movie he authorized improvisation and rewrites. Because he would fuck up his rhythm or whatever, but the majority of that whole fucking ass chewing scene when he was in the beginning introducing himself, that was all mostly improvised.
Damn, you took my piece.
Oh, sorry.
I totally was waiting. Like, well, once he takes a breath, I'm gonna drop that knowledge. But no,
originally
he's the man.
Yeah, originally
he makes that
exactly
whole beginning of the movie.
Exactly. The whole thing is that role, he was actually a military advisor for the film. The drill sergeant was actually portrayed by the actor who is the door gunner that says he's got 69 confirmed kills, not counting Water Buffalo. Anybody who runs is a VC. Anybody who stands still is a well-disciplined VC. That type of line. That door gunner was supposed to have been the drill sergeant. And instead, while he was going through the instruction and providing that actor an instructional tape, hey, look, this is how you need to be a drill sergeant. And I was like, holy fuck. So there you go. That's so I wanted to do that little tribute for Lee Ermey, because one of those things I can honestly say is that he was the veteran icon, and then moved up. You had some other trivia spots you were going to say? I know there's more you were going to talk about.
No, that was my biggest one. I mean, Stanley Kubrick was very big on realism, and if he couldn't get, and on the set, he was just like, as the guy was going through it, he just went, "You gone, you. I want you to do it." And Lee Ermey was apparently was like, "I don't know any of these lines." He goes, "Make it up, do your thing," and that's where the whole iconic of this whole, of that first scene. I mean, I still watch. I could watch that and be like, okay, I'm done with the movie. I mean, it's just a great gritty piece. It's classic Kubrick. It's a great movie. I mean, even if some people don't like the second half, I enjoy the second half. It's like, to me, it's Act 1 and Act 2. But I mean, I'm always gonna like him because he also branched out in stuff like Saving Silverman with Jack Black and that one kid from American Pie, and then Mail Call.
Yes.
I used to watch that all the time. I think it was in high school. I think it was on the History. I think it was like on the History Channel, Discovery Channel, but that would come on, and I would learn about all these weapons, and he would blow the shit out of watermelons. Exactly. It was so awesome.
Exactly. Look at this goddamn weapon, and you could tell some of it had to have been a lot of takes because you could tell he was still. I mean, come on, he's an old. He's a senior NCO. Like I said, I can't even venture to. There will not be. I was going to do a longer video. I could not do it. I could only do the scene that I shared when my dad tapped my arm, like, motherfucker better secure your shit. When my dad said that, and he was kind of like giving me that evil laugh, and then the helicopter scene, and then the ending of the graduation, because it was too emotional for me. and then having and
well,
then
you're getting kind of soft in your old age.
well old people do that when fucking that's how they try to get back to their deity, heaven, fucking place of zen or the afterlife or next life, whatever. And then I couldn't do it. I could not. I wasn't gonna do any fucking any cool. Hey, look, this is what's happening. This is all fucking. He wouldn't want it that way. He would want us to remember fucking to carry on, to press on. And so when I fucking when I was fucking doing the vid, I was like, fuck. I just couldn't. I was like, God damn, I couldn't. It actually was a. It was actually. It hit me. I mean, it hit me like you knew somebody. He was everybody's gunny. It didn't matter who. It didn't matter what branch of service you were in. He was your gunny. He was my gunny. He was our gunny. Anything that he talked about leadership when he was invited to Marine Corps Ball, when he was invited to speak at certain military engagements, there was no. He'd break balls just like any other Marine would when it came to other services, but he had respect. He went and visited the troops, supported of the Second Amendment. I mean, it just, again, everybody's gunny. There was no fucking way at all that no one was going to fucking diss my gunny. He's my gunny. Now, I would say he's probably the only gunny I've ever had in the U.S. Army while serving as a U.S. Army. He is my gunny. He was born in 1944 in Kansas. So,
it's just it's sad. Like when I first saw it, I didn't believe it. I know because I told you I was like, that's a hoax. I'm gonna double check on it, and then I was like, nope, it's on Twitter. It's actually on his own page and everything. It's like, well, I was hoping it wasn't true.
Yeah,
it's one of those things. It's just kind of like with everything going on this day and age, it's like we need Gunny.
Yeah.
How are we going to go to Syria without Gunny?
Exactly. He used to talk shit all the time. We would talk shit about Gunny.
How are we going to do this now? I don't know. Almost a little mental breakdown.
Yeah, dude.
It was going down a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. I was like I said. I was like, God, I don't know what to. I was talking to
How do I tie my shoes?
Yeah, exactly. I was like, Gunny, come on, man. We know, dude. He's right now. He has just fucking right now. Everybody. I think it's why the weather's fucking changing or some shit. I think Gunny's fucking some shit up right now.
He's got Jesus doing burpees and shit. That's
I'm telling you, man. I am telling you. Asking him where his shaving profile is at. Asking how come he hasn't had a haircut. I mean, it was like I said, it was a hit in the gut for me. Just every single drill sergeant that has emulated that fucking routine, the Marine Corps still has throughout the ages the DI's intro that is through history. You could watch Gunnery Sergeant Hartman or Lee Ermey's character in Full Metal Jacket, and if you were to clip every single fucking introduction of a drill sergeant all the way up to present time, it is the same. It is the same. Yeah, that's right, Cos. He's up there with Stormin' Norman freaking fucking shit up. He's probably dissing on Stormin' Norman's weight, though, because he was kind of a heavy guy. So, I mean, break balls. Come on. But yeah, again, I was just, I was literally, I was aghast. It was everybody that I spoke to include the WTF Nation staff, were kind of like, oh yeah, oh okay, yeah, I heard, and they didn't want to talk about it.
We definitely didn't. Like, this is like everyone else goes. We're like, did you hear that? Well, I hope they went out and blaze of glory. And this time, this one, we're all like, damn.
Yeah, you.
There's no other way to say it. Like, I want to be like my wife. My wife's looking at me funny because I'm not like being a chatterbox right now. But it's hard to put into words. It's just kind of a sigh, and just like, damn. It's just, it's like heaven's gonna be shit when I get up there.
Oh man, I know no
rest and be late for formation.
No fucking around now. You can't be bullshitting. You cannot. The gunny's up there. Fuck. So, yeah, man, it does hit you in the feels, Dale. The gunny has impacted since 1989, since that movie has come out, where you've seen him, and then up until this point where he has attended and visited troops downrange. Has been a spokesperson for Glock, Heckler and Koch, several other Geico. He got fired from Geico because he said the president was fucked up. And then he apologized later because he said he was not, conduct unbecoming of his Marine. He was even when he was not. He was being, he considered himself professional at all times. Yeah, you can't beat that, dude. You know how we talk about we don't have any icons anymore? He's my icon. That's one of those. That was one of those things that I could not. There's only two. There's only I can say right now that both of my heroes are dead now. My dad and Gunny. So I mean, it's one of those things to where I can't even fathom. I really don't know what to do. We were trying to get him on as a guest, as a matter of fact. I think about a year ago, and it was just timing. We just couldn't get him on. He's busy. I mean, the guy's busy. I mean, the fact that we got his his Marine little brother, officer brother, Dale Dye to come on is amazing. Was amazing in that. So that network. I mean, come on. Everything he did was for the vets. Everything he did was for veterans. There was no way. I'm never gonna forget him ever. And as soon as Baby Ice is able to understand, proper English, I'm gonna make him watch Full Metal Jacket. He's gonna be making the kids
good
toe the
movie to
line.
start him off with.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey kid, now that you're coherent in thought and mind and everything, watch this movie about how the Vietnam War and the drill sergeant turned this kid who's already on the edge into a killer who kills himself on a toilet.
Yeah,
Awesome.
Exactly. Well, I mean, see, that's the thing. Could Full Metal Jacket happen today? Could it be made right now? Could there be a Full Metal Jacket done today? It can't. There cannot be. You got to remember that was a slice of Marine Corps recruit training right there. That was a slice of Army recruit training as well. That was
sure. You can't do half the things in movies and songs like you used to.
Oh hell no! Jody songs.
CNN came out with a whole list of songs that would be like politically incorrect right now, and like a lot of them were like there was like a couple of Rolling Stone songs, and like a whole the best one though, like some of the points they're bringing up, like Brown Sugar and Under My Thumb, I was a little like, okay, when you phrase it like that. Under My Thumb's kind of like a controlling a woman. Brown Sugar that talks about slaves and stuff. I'm like, oh shit,
but it's
that's
all.
What
But it's
too.
all. No.
But
did they come with that?
And Ivory.
But did they? How did they come to that conclusion? Did the Rolling Stones say? Because there's a lot of things that people always talk about. Do you know what the song's about? It's about this and it's about that. It's about this. It's about this. It's about that. It's about that. Everybody was talking about that fucking song. They come to get the rooster. And everybody fucking thought it was about something else, and it was about a guy singing about his dad in Vietnam. You know what I mean?
Well,
so
all they did was they post like the infraction lyrics, and then and then they kind of were like, well, this wouldn't be right because this, that, and the other. But what got me was Ebony and Ivory. That song they were dissing on, and I was like, hold up, you're talking about a song back I think in the I think it was like 70s or whatnot. Where they're, we're saying, hey, racial, instead of racial division, racial,
correct, like the keys of the keys,
they're saying
like the
that
keys, exactly,
of,
like the keys
the
of piano,
people.
Yeah, like the keys of a piano, and performing a beautiful harmony was the intent of that song. That's what that
and they
fucking
said it
song
wouldn't
was.
be good because people are woke.
Oh, you know what? I cannot.
Like, whoa, now.
I cannot fucking stand the fact that people who say they're fucking woke are controlling. They're trying to control you, nation, on what you think is what's right. Like when now you have to say, I would like to know if individuals in their own fucking spheres of Twitterness and Facebookness, are they? What do they do in real life? What do they do? What is their day to day like when they what is I want to know what the woke life is. Please tell me, explain to what the woke life is, and how woke would I be if I was woke the fuck. I hate that fucking term, because that what am I supposed to be woke to?
I have enough trouble just being woken out of bed.
I was about to say, dude, I have a problem. Yeah, I have a problem staying woke. Fucking, I need to get some coffee. You know, Monday mornings. I hate fucking Monday mornings, man. I'm trying to stay woke.
I don't want to hear it, because if you're between Northern Virginia and New York, you've had a very bad morning. I know parts of DC were flooded. They had to shut down the HOV close to Fort Belvoir. Boston, the Boston Marathon, which, hey, for the female first American woman to win since 1985.
Why does it
Congratulations.
Why does it have to be a date on there? See, that you need to be woke.
Well,
it's
you know,
no, it's
I've never
stupid.
Been like, I no one's ever said, "Man, you're very woke."
Everyone's
like,
talking
I'm
about
very awake. That's about it.
Yeah, everyone's talking about everyone's talking about what the and shut the fuck up. Gunnery Sergeant Harmon would have fucking told you to eat a dick. He would have told you, excuse me, he is hard. You will not like him. But the more you hate him, then, you know, he'll ensure that you get trained. He does not look down on racial bigotry. They should, exactly that, Dale.
He says that in the movie.
He says that in the movie, yeah. The whole idea of the inclusion of the Marine Corps, to him, as recruits, they were all equally worthless, as what we should be. When we first come in, they have to break you down.
Some of us are still equally worthless.
There are some individuals that are worthless.
We're going to get into that a little bit later.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, we are definitely. So again, there is a lot of issues to where I literally get fucking irate when people say, "Well, you're woke. You got to be fucking awoke to what? What am I supposed to be awoke to? You can't do that shit in the Army no more. What can I not do in the Army?" So now, in an institution that is supposed to be military, you cannot speak military or be militaristic or have some type of rigid militaristic or rigid military in discipline in the military, because I am not woke enough and be sensitive. I thought, is it me? I don't know. Maybe it's because of my age. But is society bending way too fucking much to the kids that they realize should have gotten the ass whooped when they were little?
Well, hell, in DC there's a thing where they want kids to start a measure that allows kids to start voting at 16 or some stupid shit like that. I'm gonna find the article now.
I don't care. I mean, again, 18 is the fucking age, because again, these individuals that are saying they woke, listen to what they're saying. These kids, again, I mean, I don't want to fucking, you know, discuss memes and shit, but these are the kids that are fucking texting and driving and causing the majority of fatalities on the road more than weapons every fucking day. It is a statistic. If you can't say that you can't talk about it and using CDC account, let's fucking use the NTA, the NTSB? Use them, the National Transportation Safety Board. Use those guys. Let's use how many times fucking teenagers kill somebody. Gunny would have told him to fuck off. Gunny would have kicked him off his fucking... He wouldn't even allowed him... There would have been no duffel bag drags to be issued because Gunny would have fucking kicked him off. Gunny would have told them to eat a dick, shut the fuck up, and then he would have made them choke themselves. If you ladies make it off my island, if you survive recruit training, you will become a weapon. You will be a minister of death praying for war. What the fuck? Go figure. I think that's what we do in the military. In the end all, it's not making sure we got our college benefits and you make sure we got this. I'm not talking about the stuff when you get out. Once you serve your time, you got your DD-214, folk rehab, your VA benefits, your GI Bill, all that stuff should go right to you. Doesn't matter whether you're deployed or not. You served. I don't give a fuck. Not everybody's deploying anymore. Not even the infantry guys. I don't want to fucking hear it. Blue Corps, I don't care. They're not the majority of the ones deploying. Actually, your career field's been deploying a lot lately, so.
Well, you know, we you know, everyone wants the story now. We don't think the pretty pictures in the awesome video. So
exactly.
They keep deploying ourselves, which hey, my folks out in the Middle East that are supporting the Syria mission, all the stuff over there in the reserves.
Yeah, but they're pogues, right?
Appreciate you guys. You're awesome.
Yeah, but I'm saying, but they're pogues, right? No, Gunny Hartman would have said, "Fuck you." He'd have said, "You're all ministers of death, praying for war. Ministers of death, praying for war. I love it. Is it me, or there needs to be some sort of warrior ethos brought back into society? I'm not talking about the military now, society. How many here, I can guarantee if you were to pull off the side and you would have some young kid who is in the military right now. It doesn't matter what branch of service. Well, the Air Force don't count because they're not really the service. But anyways, we're just
talking, especially Air Force, Air National Guard.
Yeah. I'm going to let you have that story. because you know there's a lot of nuances. Anyways, but Gunny would say, how many here, I can still recite. I can't recite the entire fucking thing because that Facebook Live would fucking kick me off. You know what I mean? But I can recite the entire intro. What drill sergeant all the way up to now has not used part of his repertoire to introduce himself, or the inflection of his voice, or his style? Come on, man, that's the Gunny. Have I used a little bit of his repertoire in my first sergeant chewings, ass chewings? Fuck yeah. I don't, not specific, but there are some individuals that could literally fucking, I know for a fact, young hard charging kids would be able to recite his intro verbatim. And you'd be like, fuck, damn, yeah. Listen to like I said, listen to the mantra that he says in the beginning. He's fair. You're all equally worthless. The more you hate me, you will learn. You will learn by the numbers I will teach you. You will not laugh. You will not cry. So that the Gunny lifestyle, what's wrong with that? What's wrong with grown men being a fucking man, getting up in the morning? Like you said, that's to me woke. Oh, fuck, I woke up late, or I woke up on this time. I got to wake up. You know, whatever. But then you fucking get the kids that come down, and then the leadership listens. That's what blows me away. I don't see activists and people who are fucking woke at that point when they're under 18 and they're screaming at people, I walk into a kid throwing a fucking temper. You know, there's a couple memes in GIFs out right there where you're fucking you could throw a kid throwing a temper tantrum. And it's a little kid like fucking kicking and screaming in a pile of leaves. That's what I see when I see those fucks on TV.
All I know is in high school, the only thing I cared about was, backseat my car with my girlfriend at the time, and then just trying to go to work and get paid. That's about 90% of everything from 16 to 18 before I left for college. That was it. Not that I had an idea that, well, here, all this, because I've gone through a tragedy, that's like saying that because I've gone through my family's tragedy with 9/11, that all of a sudden I'm a national security and terrorist expert. It doesn't work that way. It sucks. It really does. I feel bad for every single one of those kids. But the ones I think, because you've gone through it now, you understand exactly what the founding fathers wanted about NRA money, about all this other stuff. I'm sorry, you're out. Get out of here.
Well, there was a kid.
You know what you're talking about now. Instead of me feeling bad for you, I think you're a little douche.
Yeah, there's a kid that got released from the hospital who was shot 5 times and immediately fucking went off on the police, immediately went off on the school, immediately went off on the kids that picked on him. You know what I mean? This kid did not fucking...
Oh, yeah. Can we use this opportunity to say, fuck you, Sheriff Israel?
Yeah,
again?
Of course. Always. Fucking resign.
Fuck you, Sheriff Israel. You backstabbing, two-timing, run over your own people, bullshit. Can't take any kind of criticism yourself, but know how to push that mud on somebody else. Even though 2 days after the shooting, it was 2 days after the shooting, you stood up on a town hall in Florida against the NRA lady and pretty much put the blood on them, which was not an NRA member. NRA has not done a damn thing except they push their specific what they want in politics like everyone else does. But you push the blame on them, and then it comes out that your person sat outside. Then a group of your people sat outside, and that you had 34 opportunities, I think it was combined, 34 law enforcement opportunities to actually apprehend or do anything other than go and, give him a reach around, and you failed. Fuck off. I'm glad he's not in the media anymore. I think somebody finally was like, hey, maybe you should sit back because you're really not doing us any favors.
Well, not to mention the fact it's just been revealed, it was just released today, the fact that there was more police officers on scene listening to the whole thing shooting, and they thought because they were told to stand down, that was because their SWAT team was engaging the shooter when it was the shooter the whole time. So Now there appears to be some timeline difference on the amount of time it took for the little fucker to show up to school and how long.
All it is a bunch of bullshit. I swear.
It is.
Like every time, like I'm not, the kids doing their thing. Yes, they're using what the tragedy they were a part of to enact gun control measures they feel are right. And I can, hey, you do you, but it's when the folks that are, like, I'm less mad at them. I think, I know Hog is kind of coming off a lot more douchier than I thought he was going to, but whatever. The rest of the kids kind of been hanging back, but he's still being the douche in the spotlight. But he's doing what he feels is best, or at least somebody's telling him feels is best. It's Sheriff Israel from the Parkland Sheriff's Office. That guy, that pisses me off because you're an adult. You can take you take responsibility for your actions. 2, you're a leader. You're in charge.
Exactly.
Yes, it's not the military, but you are still a leader of a organization that is to serve and protect.
Yep.
You fail to serve, you fail to protect. Honestly, the fact that Parkland still allows him to be the sheriff is irreprehensible, and honestly, get the fuck out.
Exactly that. Gunny would have beat the fuck out of him. He would have told him to choke himself, and that would have been it. So yeah, that was one of the icons that we lost. We lost another icon too, and this icon hit me as well. Not so much, but it was the memory of what I was doing or where I was at when I would hear Art Bell on Coast to Coast. After my dad got out of the military, he drove a truck. And so there would be some times where I would, I'd go with him, just drive, hang with Dad. Yeah, I'll go with you. So we'd go. And we would drive across the desert. And, of course, in the middle of the night while you're sitting there shooting the shit, drinking coffee, smoking cigarettes, just talking about life, and whatever. You listen to this thing called Coast to Coast. And it was a syndicated talk show that had Art Bell. He was the guy, and it was everything that had anything to do with the paranormal and aliens. Where we were driving, it was not uncommon for specific sightings to happen because of where we lived. So we would not be uncommon for any whatever shit. And I was a little bit young, and my dad's like, all right, make sure you look outside to see if you fucking see a UFO or some shit. It's kind of like, get me, just shoot the shit and all that stuff. We make fun of each other. Well, one of our shows, Saturday Night Savagery, is actually modeled like Coast to Coast. The J. Riddy and Pooks, they do a fantastic job of getting that type of format, getting it out to the nation. I think it's just great how that works. That works for, and that's, I guess you would say, our version of Coast to Coast. Well, he was the one that actually had the no shit on air tinfoil stuff happening on air, like literally on air. Back in 1997, it was a normal show, and he received a frantic phone call from a dude that said he claimed he worked at fucking Area 51. Now, it doesn't appear to be fucking a hoax, what people are saying. What you guys don't realize is that when you do syndicated shows in terrestrial radio, there's a method of hookups and connections and all sorts of stuff. And back in the day, there was several redundancy systems to ensure that in the event any one system calls, like with us, WTF Nation Radio, we have a redundancy system. We just say, "Oh fuck, Minx, my shit just blew up. Jump on it." We do that. You know what I mean? Well, that's what we do. Syndicated radio stations, they have a more robust and more, also because of funding, their station will provide it. They have more redundancy systems to get something set up, so that way in the event there's one redundancy that fails, then obviously the other redundancy kicks in and you would not even notice. So again, as the phone call was going, it was fucking knocked off the fucking air, like immediately. And this guy was talking about Area 51. This guy was talking about, and this is what propelled Art Bell into a little bit of a legitimacy as far as being of that paranormal / conspiracy theory stuff. And the way it happened, it just went completely fucking dead. So we don't have any videos for this, obviously, because this is a radio broadcast. So here's a little bit of the radio broadcast of what happened when that frantic phone caller called up Art Bell from Coast to Coast. Rest in peace. So you're just like, whoa.
Line, you're on the air. Hello.
Hello, Art.
Yes.
Hi. I don't have a whole lot of time.
Well, look, let's begin by finding out whether you're using this line properly or not.
Area 51.
Yeah, that's right. Were you an employee or are you now?
A former employee.
Former employee.
I was let go on a medical discharge about a week ago, and I've kind of been running across the country. Oh man, I don't know where to start. They're gonna they'll triangulate on this position really soon.
So you can't spend a lot of time on the phone. So give us something quick.
Okay. Okay. What we're thinking of as aliens, Art, they're extra-dimensional beings.
Extra-dimensional beings. Now, that's not when he starts explaining what this is, you're thinking, oh, okay, whoa, what the hell? But then starts getting into more details.
An earlier precursor of the space program made contact with. They are not what they claim to be. They have infiltrated a lot of aspects of the military establishment, particularly the Area 51. The disasters that are coming, the military, I'm sorry, the government knows about them, and there's a lot of safe areas in this world that they could begin moving the population to now, Art.
But they're not doing anything.
They are not. They want the major population centers wiped out.
That's fucking freaky. Scared the bejesus out of me when I heard that shit.
Okay. While I don't wear the tinfoil hat very often because it messes up what little hair I have left. That was kind of creepy.
That was fucking creepy. Come on, dude. No, that's just not even best. David, is it Saturday yet? No. We're memorializing the two icons, and I wanted to give 30 minutes for the Gunny and then 30 minutes for Art Bell. So that's the way. That's the reason why we're talking about Art Bell. He's the king. He's the king. He is the king of Saturday nights. He is the. I guess you would say that Saturday Night Savagery is a descendant of Coast to Coast.
He is the godfather of Saturday Night Savagery.
Yeah, exactly. So what he's saying basically is that there are some extra dimensional beings that have infiltrated our military government that they can't seem to age and they don't seem whatever, but they move through the established government and they want to create specific events and they want people to get wiped out. So that way the few left, that it can be more controllable. So here's more of this shit.
So that the few that are left will be more easily controllable.
Discharge.
So they're like losing transmission right now. And they're trying to get connections back. And like fucking Art Bell is like going, what the fuck's going on, flipping switches and shit, and not seeing what the fuck's going on the other end, obviously. So about another few minutes go by, and then the backup system tries to come back up. So that's their little backup music they got going on.
That was all the government, or I don't know. It has to be something, though. Well, did you hear? Now you tell me because you were listening. That was awful strange. There was a really weird guy on the air when it went off. Yeah, real weird out. Like going, sort of sounding paranoid, schizophrenic, like crying and everything. Yeah. And how far into the conversation was it when it went off? Just a couple, about 20 seconds, I'd say.
Oh, you guys missed. You really missed a call then, and I've got a feeling somebody didn't want you to hear it.
So what happened is that all that what we just heard, that whole phone call, was that we just heard was the unedited studio tape version of it. So it was their podcast that we heard. However, when it went out, when it was being broadcasted on air, it was being wiped out. So like that guy said, I only heard just a few seconds of it. The guy crying.
Yeah. Because it was really strange. All of a sudden, I'm hearing Mark Furman, and
That's right. Well, the network, of course, went immediately to a backup tape while we tried to figure out what blew up here. So that's what you heard happen. And then we're now on a backup link system to be on the air at all right now. So, well, I'm telling you.
Am I on the air right now?
You're on the air right now. Well, you better be, yes.
And
where are you, by the way?
I'm in Michigan.
Michigan.
Yeah, I called the other night, and I wanted to ask two things.
Real quick.
Well, I wanted to say one thing, and I wanted to ask another.
Real quick.
I wanted to ask if you could play that remote viewing.
Anyway, so that was what propelled freaking Art Bell into the stratosphere, no pun intended, of the alien conspiracy tinfoil hat genre that had him that he was just that was just the way he would just take calls like that. And I remember when I was driving in the truck with my dad, that's all we would listen to. I mean, exactly that, Casey. Terrifying to hear that in real time. You gotta remember, some of these guys, when they're broadcasting in a studio, their studio is in a fucking on top of a hill in the middle of fucking nowhere next to a transmitter when they're doing their shows in some places. What do you gotta say back in the day in quotes there, Casey? Like, it's old or some shit, you know?
It reminds me of the story about the World of Worlds.
Yes, exactly that.
On the radio that
Exactly.
scared the shit
Exactly.
out of everyone. One, because they really didn't have television. Two, because it would just, during the time, everyone thought this was a real event. It scared the hell out of them.
Yeah, motherfuckers were locked in, loading and shit. Even the cops went outside with their fucking guns, scanning the horizon, looking for these fucking walkers coming out.
I won't get me one of them aliens.
I'm
now.
gonna get them alien now, and you better make sure he's documented. Sorry. Oh man.
Well, I don't want them bringing their tacos over here.
What kind of
green card?
What kind of alien
I
are
don't know
talking
why I
about?
started talking about George Bush. But whatever.
It's time to get. It's time to get them. Time to get them aliens. They work for Al Qaeda. Speaking of George Bush.
I was going to say,
Barbara Bush.
Thoughts and prayers, or whatever you want to say to
Barbara Bush.
Yeah, it's sad, but she's for those not tracking, she's refused additional medical treatment. I mean, the gal is 92 years old, so now they're just focusing on being at home and being comfortable. So it sounds like that's something else we're gonna have to deal with the next possible next days, weeks, months. But it's kind of sad. But I guess eventually you just got to say, well, throw in the towel. It's been a good life.
I was about to say, 92 years old is not. See, my
If
grandfather
I
died.
live to 70, I'm gonna be happy.
My grandfather died when he was 98. I always knew how old my grandfather was because he was 1 year behind the current century. So he died in 1997, and he died at 98. And that dude was a machine. And I really don't think, a lot of it's not the fact that, and they were even saying some of the family, because the family released a statement stating the fact that Barbara Bush has got her wits. She's still, snappy and all that. It's just her health. It's just your body. She's got COPD. She's got, she's been going through congestive heart failure back and forth. And she said instead of going back and forth to the hospital. I know for a fact that in most marriages that have been gone a long time like that, and they're of the elderly, usually the other one's going to go right after that. You know what I mean? So, H. Bush.
I mean, my great grandmother, when she passed away, it wasn't too far after that my great grandfather passed away. I mean, they say it's scientifically proven that you can die of a broken heart. And I guess, if you've been with somebody for that long,
Yeah, exactly.
it's going to happen.
Exactly. I wonder how many ex-wives you have to have before it kills you.
You might be at the limit.
Well, George H.W. Bush, they've been married for like almost over 70 years, man. That's awesome. I applaud that. People who can hang in there for that long of a fucking time. That's.
Considering we have celebrities getting divorced after maybe 2-3 months or
me.
whatnot,
I mean, you're talking about
people
I brag about fucking. I talk shit about getting divorced and all that stuff. And it's not. What I've liked to have had, or back in the day. I'm not going to rehash shit, but I'm just saying. One of those, where you dated in high school and he went to World War II and then he's been with her ever since. Those stories like that are fucking awesome.
They don't happen very often anymore because, well, I guess you could blame a lot of things. Things are maybe a little more simpler at the time. There wasn't as many distractions. Now everything is like, hell, now you can get porn on your smartphone. I mean, dear God, it's I think the days of marrying your high school sweetheart, unless you've you knocked her up.
Yeah, well, unless you're woke, that's the only
and
way.
Even then, it's like, you do what you want.
Yeah, exactly. So going back on Art Bell. So Art Bell had done that for he'd done that for fucking years. And when he did his shows, all of his shows, it seemed like he didn't seem like he was overdoing it when he would interview. He never insulted anybody who came on the phone to discuss these type of issues. His style of how he conducted the interview, and his style of how he I don't know, it seemed like he was more matter of fact, if that makes any sense. He wanted to listen to what you had to say. He wanted to say, if you had something to talk about, yada yada yada, and yeah, then you went ahead and he discussed it. He didn't sit there and make fun of you and poke and laugh and say, you fucking nutbag, I think you're fucking crazy or whatever. He would listen. He would like, okay, what do you got to say? Listen, what do anybody want to talk about? And then that's it. So he again, his career, man, I don't want to say it was unorthodox the way he did it. He was born 1945, so him and Gunny were a year apart and a couple days apart in their death. So 1944 is when Gunny was born. 1945 is when Art Bell was born. And Art Bell died April 13th, and then Gunny died April 14th. So, but anyways,
everyone keeps dropping. Like, somebody put a protective detail around Robert Duvall and shit. I mean,
yeah, exactly. So he didn't do the whole thing. He retired from Coast to Coast, and then after a few years, he did other shows similar to that. He would occasionally jump on as a guest host and all that. He liked to say that he has many retirements because he would get invited and stuff like that. All of that stuff came to a head when he created a nightly show called Art Bell's Dark Matter, which, oh man, I would love to hear that. But it only lasted for 6 weeks, and it was on Sirius. So I guess Sirius has some difference of opinions when it comes to technological stuff and all that. He returned to radio again, doing pretty much the same thing. And you can, was available online from 2015 called Midnight in the Desert. And then 2015 in December, he decided, hey, security concerns at his home. Because motherfuckers wanted to come on and they didn't believe him, or they thought he was part of it. They thought he was a lot of this other stuff. So again, it's just he's iconic, and if you're in this industry, if you're in broadcasting, then you need to look at his model, because you don't raise your eyebrow on something like that and then carry that genre that you didn't even know your frickin' disenfranchising an audience that was already out. I mean, come on. Nobody ever thought about the paranormal or UFO. He made America believe in UFOs. No, he didn't make them. He ensured that there was questions being asked about UFOs in America. You know, I really don't think the paranormal and UFOs have anything to do. And people like to say, "Oh no, he's a paranormal guy." Nah. I don't want to put the two together, because to me, paranormal shit is like what Jay Reddy is gonna do, going through a goddamn haunted house and shit and trying to record it and you know, fucking ring.
Yeah, can we be honest on that? Fuck that noise. I'm glad Jay Reddy's doing that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, whew. I would just go in the truck. If I could carry some weapons with me, you know, carry me some.
See, you can't go in the truck, because if you watched Halloween, was it the not H2O? It was the one after one where they had Busta Rhymes, and he was in the truck, and then Michael Myers came after him. Hell no. I don't curse the devil. I don't call anyone out. I don't go to places that are like, hey, this place is probably haunted. Cool. I guess it looks like Flash isn't going there. I don't play that game. So, you know, if Jerry wants to do that, you know, you've got crazy people. Like, there's a group apparently going to Savannah, which is one of the most haunted places in the country, what I feel is home to me. And people, and I know the haunted places. I don't go there. I went there once as a kid because I was stupid.
Hell,
I won't go back again. There's a reason why.
My haunted meccas for me, or places, centers would be the ghost towns of the Old West, fucking Fort Leavenworth, Kansas, Texas, Savannah. I don't know. Maybe I don't know.
You're not from around here, are you?
No, exactly.
See, we got all those plantations and the bayous and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. I'll drive around. What are you doing with that kayak, boy? I'm like, oh shit! I thought I was here to look at the ghost.
Kid told me not to go up here.
Yeah.
There is no kid. He's been dead for over 100. Out. Fuck this shit. We're out.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's being fucking Flash paddling our asses out.
You show me a government ID, or I'm not going near you.
Exactly. You're going to cart some little kid on the side of the bayou fucking fishing and fucking a stick and a line? Hey, sir, you're going the wrong way. Some of that shit like that. That would be awesome to go on one of those. I mean, come on. I'm not going out there and, you know, if it's one of those hauntings where we can catch on film.
Fuck you.
No, I'm serious. I would love to do that, to catch on shit, but I got to have weapons. It's my peace of mind, because even though
how do you attack something that you can't actually hit? I don't know. Bring a weapon anyway.
It doesn't matter.
Bring a blunderbuss.
It would be
fucking blow it up.
It would be the gratification of me knowing that I at least laid down some suppressive fire in the event it comes at me and then throws its fucking ectoplasm all over me. But my point being is that Art Bell, I don't really consider him a paranormal guy. I consider him more like a scientist, because think about it, of the study of UFOs, it's a science, right? So I would consider him. There is no science, there is no school, there is no educational curriculum or goddamn rubrics on fucking what he did. Just like Jay Reddy doesn't do it. Jay Reddy, well, you call Jay Reddy up or Saturday Night Savagery and you want to talk about UFOs and stuff, him and Pookie, well, they don't give a fuck. Call him up.
I'm pretty sure both of them have been on UFOs before, so that's the reason why. The crazy bastards.
Oh man. But going to that. Oh, you got to be fucking kidding me. Really? No fucking way.
What happened?
What is the date on this article before I read it out loud? Okay. Harry Anderson from Night Court died.
Yeah. Oh, I was gonna bring that up in the break because we were talking about people that are, you know, kicking the bucket. Yeah. He passed away.
Holy shit.
Pretty sure 90% of the crowd that's listening right now have no idea what Night Court is.
No, exactly.
I really didn't either until about 30 minutes ago.
Anyways, we're gonna go ahead and take a break so we can have. Hey, Doc Derek, it's real and it's broken. So we're gonna take a break right now, and we're gonna be back talking about some PAOs, right, and some reenlistment stuff.
Oh my God, we're
yeah.
Oh my God.
Okay. So we're gonna take a break right quick.
Coming.
We're going to take a break right now. We'll be right back with the Monday edition with Ice and Flash on this 16 April 2018, broadcasting live from the Functional Better Center of Excellence. Shots.
Shot.
Hungry for another taste. You stumble around the time you waste, and your table's overturned. Sooner or later you crash, then you burn. I think I wanna die tomorrow. And are you gonna be with me? I think I wanna die tomorrow, 'cause I'm out of time and I'm out of my mind. The simple ways come and go. Still I love the way you turn me on. But I just can't find the words, 'cause everything I say sounds so absurd. I think I wanna die tomorrow. Die on the breeze, baby. I think I wanna die tomorrow. 'Cause I'm out of time and I'm out of my mind. But it's so embarrassing. It's so I think I wanna live tomorrow. So will you come and breathe with me? Think I wanna live tomorrow. Die on the breeze with me. Think I wanna live tomorrow. 'Cause I'm out of time and I'm out of my mind. I don't care what you say. I don't care what you need. I don't care around my heart. Just instead of watching bleed. I don't wish upon a star. 'Cause I don't care who you are. 'Cause I'm out of time and I'm out of my mind. You can't save me if I can't save me, and you won't follow if I keep falling in, and you won't listen to what I'm saying, 'cause I'm so broke.
I am here determined to stop this future atrocity.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe. I suggest we use it.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
Good evening, boys and girls.
This is Tim Kennedy. I'm a Special Forces sniper, a Ranger qualified Green Beret, a UFC fighter. Please listen to us and the shenanigans that we're going to say. We will insult you. There will be racial slurs. We will be sexist. We will offend you. But there will be magic, and a unicorn will be raped. So enjoy the show. Thank you for listening on WTF Nation Radio.
And we're back. Part 2 of the Monday edition. Broadcasting live from the many of the satellite broadcast locations of the Funk Zone Veteran Center of Excellence. Flash and Ice here to give you all the news, commentary, and opinion of the veteran community. And I'm just going to go ahead and just step back and throw the mic to Flash. Go ahead.
Well, before we get started, don't forget we're on Facebook, Mixer, the TuneIn app, Periscope, and Twitter, YouTube. We're everywhere. You know, like us, share us, tell how awesome we are, and we'll keep trying to bring all the awesome people to you. Okay, now that I've downed about 4 or 5 shots of this whiskey right here, because dear God. So a story broke. A video came out not even 2 days ago. It was first posted on Air Force AMN/NCO/SNCO with the title, "Remember when the profession of arms was taken seriously? Tennessee Air National Guard, Public Affairs, United States Air Force, blah, it says some other stuff." So here's the gist of it. We've shared it on our page. You can go to WTF Nation Radio and on our page and check out the video itself. But it is in fact it's a master sergeant, female master sergeant, who happens to be public affairs, who is taking the oath of enlistment, which is awesome. A lot of us know it's a tradition. It's a sacred bond. It's not just you just saying, hey, sure, I'll do this. It's you committing your life, X amount of years to the service and to your country. It's kind of a big deal for about 90%. 90% of everyone out there. Well, the weird thing is that in this instance, there's a couple of things wrong with the video. Now, if you've seen the video, we'll post it in the comments so you can check it out from the page. There's a couple things wrong. The biggest thing wrong is when she's doing the oath of enlistment, on her right hand, as you know, you raise your right hand because you're taking an oath. She has a puppet. It's a dinosaur head, and as she's saying the words, she's mimicking the puppet's head at the same time. And there's a colonel who's actually doing the oath of enlistment who isn't doing his right hand, and it's just nonchalantly doing this. Well, this video was posted on this page, and there's some interesting things about this. Apparently, the person who runs this page, who's ex-PAO, and a lot of his PAO brethren are hating on him. But this video went as viral, I guess, as it can be among the military.
I mean, it was only like 2.1 million views, so I guess it was somewhat viral.
Well, at the time, it was only when I first saw it, it was only at about 50,000 views. We're at 1.9 million views. It has been posted on many of public affairs chats and groups and stuff like that, and it's gone out. It's pretty. How do I put it this way without losing my shit right off the bat? Holy shit! One, you're the Air Force and Air National Guard. Okay, you're the Air Guard. There's the Guard, and then there's the Air Guard. You guys are like, if we can keep going below the rungs, there you are, the Air National Guard. Now, I don't know. Okay, I don't know what you guys are doing in Tennessee. I don't know what kind of games, especially I don't know what kind of public affairs you guys are doing. But holy shit! So before I keep going to rant, let me give you more information. So this video went out. And a lot of people are saying, "Oh, this is cute. This is fun." Apparently, the backstory is that this female master sergeant did this for her kids, and they recorded the video. Well, then somebody had the bright idea to then post it, which then was snagged up and has gone everywhere. So much so that it actually garnered the attention of the director of Joint Public Affairs for the Tennessee Military Department actually saw this and messaged them. It is pretty. They said this is not an official reenlistment. The airman in the video created it for her children. And then I guess they're talking to someone. So the officer in the NCO faked it in mock ceremony with the U.S. flag. Is that your statement? And somebody said she's trying to create something for her younger children would enjoy. It does not make the video right, but it's something that should have not been shared. The issue has been handled with our chain of command, but it hasn't. A lot of people are actually calling for some actually strict punishment. So much so, where'd it go? The air. Well, we're going to go to the easy one right here. Give me a sec. So much so. Damn ducks were the Air National Guard director actually posted on his Facebook page saying many of you have seen and commented to me about the recent Facebook post of an airman of our beloved Air National Guard taking the re-enlistment oath while using a dinosaur hand puppet. I understand your outrage and frustration. Let me say I am equally shocked and dismayed by the events that mock such a cherished and honorable occasion. The oath of office or enlistment not only signifies our commitment to our nation, but pays respect to our fellow service members and those who came before us. We as military members answer to a calling of service and represent the profession of arms. This action goes against our very foundation. Tennessee National Guard leadership is aware and addressing the issue. The single act does not reflect the selfless dedication and professionalism shown every day by the outstanding airmen of our Air National Guard in the service in our great nation. Yes, it does. Here's my biggest problem with that, and y'all can take it to the bank. Y'all can do with it what you want. I don't care if it's mock or not. One, as an Air Force, as a public affairs person, that's what irks me the most. As a public affairs person, perception is truth. It does not matter what the truth is. Perception is truth. If the perception is this, well, guess what? No matter what, if the facts are there, it's true. That's just how it works. That's why we have a whole SEP thing. Security, accuracy, propriety, all that, and policy. Holy crap! Not only do you make public affairs look really bad because man, NCO, SNCO, former public affairs person, who I guess is kind of like WTF and calls out people.
Yeah. Well, look.
Which WTF did get kudos.
Well, I was about to say, didn't they say something about WTF? You were saying that. What was the comment that they had said about WTF?
In one of the public affairs
about both sides.
One of the public affairs groups that this was posted in which there was a long chat. Like it's kind of crazy. Some of the people that are like, "Oh, it's just humor," and then the rest are just like, "No, you can't really say much other than smack your head." It's just like, oh my god. But somebody said at least U.S. Army WTF Moments actually has a processing board where we try to when people bring stuff to us, we don't just immediately post it. The guys on the main page don't immediately post it. They actually try to be like, "Are you sure? Did you go talk to this person?"
Oh man,
sure
yeah,
before anything really goes up.
They have an extreme vetting process that has cost admin positions.
So WTF actually got props for at least doing that. When this I'm assuming they either know the person or whatnot, but they seem kind of salty about it. I don't care because wrong is wrong. Now, if you post, if it goes on social media, hey, everybody, sit down. We're going to have a little chat with your friendly PAO. If you post it on social media, it's going to go places, regardless on however you have the security on your Facebook. Somehow, some way, it will find its way out. One person, just the wrong person will share it, and it will get picked up, and somebody will download it because it's really easy to download videos off of Facebook. Even if it's your friend, you can't share it. It's very easy to download it. Reload it again, and all of a sudden it's everywhere. Don't post it because while that might have been cute, that would have been cute if somebody would have just recorded on their phone and that be the end of it. But then you can't trust people not to post it.
Oh, hell no.
Guess what? This colonel and this master sergeant, this Tennessee Air National Guard master public affairs professional decided this was a good idea to post on Facebook and is wondering why they're getting hate. It hurts me to the core as a public affairs person because we have to fight against stupid people every day from posting stuff. I remember having people message my brigade page back when I was in active duty and be like, this person was doing this, that, and the other on Facebook, and I'd have to go and pull them aside and be like, hey, look, you can't do that. Here's your your unofficial verbal counseling. You can't do that shit. Next time you do this stuff that's against policy, I have to report. I have to do stuff about it.
Well,
Like,
I mean, doesn't it?
I don't want to do that.
But doesn't it seem like to me? And this is just me being from on the outside, and a lot of other. And I'm asking a question. I'm not dissing the PAO field because I guess you say I'm in it now. You have been assisting in my mentorship of PAO-dom. But doesn't it seem like some of them are just a little bit too fucking uptight anyways when it comes obviously something like that is not a good thing to broadcast out as a command. But don't you think sometimes our PAOs get too much on their itchy? I mean, they're really fucking risk adverse at posting something, but then when they do post something that they think is controversial, it's really controversial. If that makes any sense.
The public affairs world, especially the military public affairs world, it's very weird because there is no there's not even like I always kind of think back to like the Pirates Code and Pirates of the Caribbean where it's like more like guidelines. Public affairs doesn't even have that. Now, granted, we are always asked to take boring things, not saying Oath of Enlistment is boring, but take boring things and make them more entertaining so people will want to watch. Now, we're always fighting against older public affairs people that want everything by the book, even though no one has a set book.
Correct.
Ever.
And I was about to ask because you
But they want
notice
it by their book.
somebody, and I tell you, with the new PAO and the new PAO Sergeant Major, either scared the bejesus out of somebody and told everybody to go nuts because lately the quality of videos and the quality of command information products lately within the last just 2 years have exceeded even PSYOP fucking standards. I mean, I'm looking at this shit and I'm going, why the fuck aren't these kids doing influence? Why aren't these kids, you know what I mean? They're doing some groundbreaking shit. They're not doing the, hi, welcome to the 10th Mountain Division. Today we're going to be talking about the capabilities of a light fighting individual infantry unit that has climbed to glory. You know what I mean? Now you look at a fucking video and it's like, because the 82nd sends videos to the main page
I was
all the
about
time.
to say, mad props to the All-American Division because
they've
been posting some pretty banging stuff.
That's what I'm saying. Whoever released that restriction, hats off. Whoever wants to clamp that type of shit down needs to get fucking fired. Like you said, those dinosaurs need to fucking go.
Well, see, and I have to say, it was Major General Frost when he was the big honcho for public affairs before B.C. Jones took over. Major General Frost really was pushing we're doing the more multimedia pieces. We're doing, and it's not that part of leadership. It's the functional leadership. It's your old PAOs have been doing it for a long time. I remember AFN. We couldn't do we couldn't try to create certain commercials or do anything that had, I won't say edge. We weren't trying to make like risque things so kids could see it on, whatever 4 channels of AFN they get, but just stuff that was a little more out of the box. But, we had these old GSs that were like, no, it has to be this way because that's the way we've been doing it. But then we have people that take, there's certain things that you shouldn't take, if you want to do something cool, like, when those guys, I saw a video of somebody doing an Oath of Enlistment in a damn gas chamber. Are you out of your freaking mind? I hate that shit. There's no way in hell I'm going to sign up more of my. Well, I guess that would be like.
But that's more.
But that's more like, on point. It's like this sucks. Signing up sucks. But shit, let's do it.
But it's relatable to what you do as a service member. Is my point.
And it's not messing with the actual ceremony or act. It's just
correct.
You're doing it in a setting.
You're doing it in a setting, and as they would say in training, you're doing it in a condition. You're doing it in an NBC environment.
But this is it's a hand puppet.
Yes.
And granted, if it's for the kids, then it should not have gone on social media.
No, they should have. It should have been.
Should have known better.
The little kid should have been next to her, or there should have been something saying this special enlistment is for a child of special needs, or something to that way. It's like that, and everyone gets the hugs and all this other shit. You know what I mean? And then that would have mattered.
The colonel standing there just like it looks serious. Like the whole thing is like if you've watched the video, it looks very serious. Neither one of them are laughing or smiling or joking about it. They're both doing it like this is a serious thing, just with a freaking hand puppet. I know Minx doesn't like the fact that the colonel doesn't actually know the Oath of Enlistment and whatnot. I can forgive that, but the whole they don't even play it off like this is a joke for kids. They're playing it off like this is something that is serious, but we're just going to add this little element to see if anyone picks up on it. I showed it to my dad when we posted it on Sunday, and he goes, "What the fuck is this bullshit?" He's like, "What the hell are you guys doing?" I said, "Well, Reserve, not National Guard." And then second, that's Air National Guard. They're in a whole league of their own.
I'm not at all going to say, and that's I was about ready to say, Joe. It looked like he was kind of like laughing uneasy in like an uncomfortable situation. Because
this doesn't feel right.
Exactly, he had that, and exactly, Dale. It's making you're damn right. I'm glad you mentioned that, Dale. It's making a mockery of the military. There was people.
Ding.
There was people that were actually on the main page getting butthurt that U.S. Army WTF Moments just posted. They didn't say it. They didn't make any comments to it. They just posted, "Hey, this is a message from blah blah blah." That's all the main page did. The next thing you know, the fucking comments attacking the main page and attacking that unit on how could it, how come, who cares? It's just, look, everybody talks about wanting to go back to the old school. Remember?
Hey, I need to cut you off.
What was
We have breaking news. Former First Lady Barbara Bush has died at 92.
Oh. Damn.
Like, just came. No, don't do this to me now, CNN. Don't fail me now.
Are we for real? I mean, you just like announced it.
I'm double checking my sources.
Don't do this to me now, CNN, as you announce the death of somebody. Gotta be careful.
Yeah, she's died at 92. It's official. That's a shame.
God, man. God, and I'm telling you, H. Walker Bush is gonna be right behind her just because of the. That's where'd you get this one on? Is this from a tweet or something like that? Or
no, I got a message thing on CNN, but it's also on MSNBC. It's posting everywhere. USA Today.
Okay.
Announced as she neared death at 92, former First Lady Barbara Bush announcement that she is seeking comfort care. That was 4 hours ago, and then let's see. Yeah. It is confirmed that she has died at 92.
Oh, it sucks.
Per CNN and a couple other outlets. So, damn.
Man.
Apparently CNN got the jump on everyone else.
Yeah, they did. I guess CNN got the jump on it because right now Fox News is talking about other shit aside from what they should talk about. But that's just me. So wow, that makes it makes Harry Anderson, Art Bell. Lee Ermey, Barbara Bush. Man. Okay, I guess it just broke now on Fox News. The guys are saying in the chat. Man. That's fucking...
Kaz is right. They always seem to come in threes. This is a weirder three.
Actually, now it's 4.
Who am I missing?
No, somebody else just died just now.
Oh, sweet Jesus. Everyone, check your people.
Milos Forman, Oscar-winning director, dies at 86.
Oh, shit. Oh,
so it's 5. So it's Harry Anderson, R. Lee Ermey, Art Bell, Milos Forman, and now Barbara Bush. Damn, dude. I'm going to go take my meds.
I know. I'm about to go do an extra couple sit-ups or whatnot. Holy crap!
Exactly.
That's
watch what you fucking eat.
I mean,
well, no, but they all. You got to look at the ages. They all died except for Harry Anderson. They all died at 92. Milos Forman 86. Barbara Bush 92. No, like you said, those are respectable ages. You lived a good life.
I'm good with getting up to the 90s. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah. Art Bell
almost in the next century.
Yeah, Art Bell 72. R. Lee Ermey is 74, and then Harry Anderson died young. He was 65.
Damn.
So I mean, again, so breaking news. Of course, you'll see that probably blasted out on everywhere. But going back to what I was saying is that the mocking of it's making a mockery of the military is when you make the mockery out of the military. These are the things that soldiers right now complain about. Soldiers wish they had that hard but firm fucking leader to ensure that they were given the proper guidance and that direction that they needed when they were Joes. Soldiers want that NCO or that commander that is fucking fair. But he is fucking making sure that the standard's being accomplished. He's not being a dick about it because there's a standard to be made. When you make a mockery like this, the soldiers all see that. You don't take shit seriously because if you were to fuck up something, like say for instance, You were caught outside. I would love to be in that unit and not salute at the flag when a retreat into the colors happens, and see what their reaction would be. They'd lock me the fuck up. They'd try to UCMJ me. Because why? Because I'm making a mockery of that tradition. The same thing with reading of the Oath of Enlistment. You know, that is the only thing that I really take seriously anyways, is the Oath of Enlistment. I mean, if you're not taking it, then should it just be a drill where you just sign it now and just say, fuck it, I'm just going to sign the paperwork and then that's it?
I mean, I re-enlisted one time off my initial contract, and while it was in a dark, a semi-dark conference room because the lights decided not to work, you know, and I was happy because my NCOIC was there, who I highly respected. My company commander was there, who I really liked, and my wife was there. And I did my oath of enlistment for another 3 years, and it was while it was in a dark little conference room with an American flag that two of my buddies were actually holding it. You know, it was still it means something. It's a commitment. It's a real commitment, and it's just one of those things that, you know, public affairs people are always trying to find something to, because everything's already been done. You can only do so many stories on best warrior competitions or some strong bonds event. I mean, it's really hard.
But my thing though is that
new story.
No, but I got you, Flash. But think about this though. Why does PAO have to cover events like that? Why doesn't PAO get down to the grassroots? Because I can tell you right now, the biggest problem, me, Jose, and a couple other individuals in the main page and the WTF staff talk about how fucked up Army recruiting is. How fucked up, how the Army seems to have divested or not even paid interest to recruiting, but complain about recruiting numbers. I talk about it too. The Marine Corps and their badass fucking commercial that they had in the Super Bowl, the Army had a recycled guys jumping out of the back of an airplane.
We haven't had a cool recruiting video since Army of One.
I wouldn't even go that. I would even go that. I think Army Strong was a little bit better than Army of One. But my whole point being is that at least there was something coming out. People talk shit about, oh, that was a crappy campaign. Hey, look, they're not targeting to you because your ass is already in. You already signed up.
Well, because a lot of those big things that the Army does isn't done by PAOs. It's done through contractors.
Oh,
that have a couple of PAOs that will direct and stuff. And honestly, it's just a.
I know who it. No. Me and Jose were doing some digging. The Army recruiting is done by the Army Marketing and Research Group, AMRG, and it is in charge of a bunch of civilians, a bunch of GSs that do not have any, like, they don't go to the field. They're not creatives. They're not individuals. They are GS people. I'm not saying that there are some GS positions that are creatives, but they're like not true. They are GS staff weenies. Then they have assistants with some Army individuals, and with different L&Os, uniformed and all that. And then they have a contracting company called the McCann Group that has had this fucking 10-year fucking multi-billion-dollar fucking. It seems like I don't know what they have. I really don't know what. I mean, what they've done. What have they done?
There really hasn't been a lot. I mean, they tried. I can't speak too high on what they do in the marketing and whatnot, even though a buddy of mine is about to go into that world, which will, maybe I'll get some more insight. But it's on the lower level. We have all these commanders that want us to reinvent the wheel, and to reimagine stuff, but they're asking us to do it with as little equipment, as little equipment and time as possible, and without the funds to do it. I had one colonel
because they don't understand the creative process too. That's the biggest problem.
I had one colonel when we were in Germany as a rotation. He wanted to have smoke going. I think it was for not Cav Week. I think it was for Army Navy game or something like that. I think it was the Army birthday, and he wanted to do something really cool for the Cav. So he's like, he remember he drove me and my PAO out there and was like, "This is the field I want to do it. I want to have smoke. I want a lot of smoke, and then I want these 3-4 tanks to just come hauling ass through this field." And me and my PO were just like, "What?" It's like, "Okay, sir." I said, "So you're going to pay for the fuel for these 4 tanks to go crawl through all the smoke. You want to have all these soldiers ready here, and I'm pretty sure that our safety guy is going to be all thrilled about having these tanks hauling ass right next to a formation of soldiers as they go, 'Happy birthday, U.S. Army.'" And he just looked. He said, "You guys are supposed to be the ones that do this stuff."
No. Look here. Everyone is not a fucking Michael Bay director. Not everybody is like. No, that's what pisses me off. Everyone thinks that. Because I'll be honest with you. There should be like a creative school. They don't know the creative process. They don't understand that type of. You have to tell a fucking story. And I remember me and you talking about this before. How many times you have been driven, it drives you up the wall. A lot of great out-of-the-box thinkers that are PAOs or journalists that truly want to bring out a command story, and they just have leadership fuck it up. It's almost
there's
like...
been plenty of stories that I've had a cool twist on it, or I've had a cool, like, hey, let's do it this way, and I've had someone in the command line go, no, because it's, we don't want to tell it like this. And granted, I like to think of myself as a extremely professional person. Even when I'm on the radio, I think I try to be as professional as possible within keeping the WTF Nation spirit, of course. But, even outside, even when I'm not at work at all, I'm still a very professional person. And so when people think that my ideas are going to make the Army look bad, it's like, no, that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to tell it this way. Tell it from the point of view of this instead of that. And it's just you get some commanders that want the world but don't want to give you anything to get it done, or you got some commanders that hate public affairs and they want you to take a couple of grip and grins and move on your way. But going back to this whole thing, it's the long and short of it is she's a PAO Master Sergeant. She is public affairs. As a Master Sergeant, regardless if it's National Guard, that just means she's probably been doing it for a lot longer,
and probably doing
a lot of other people,
and probably been doing it in the civilian world too.
I mean, because a lot of these people that I've learned in the Reserve and National Guard can do this job until they're almost at retirement age, as long as they can meet the standard. Which, hey, if you can meet the standard, congratulations. I know a first sergeant who just retired after 33 years of mix between reserve and active duty time. 33 years. And he's been doing public affairs, civilian side, and I mean that's so much so that he's typing stories on typewriters and shit, and doing like developing his film and actually developing, and not just going, here, let me drop my video onto my Mac computer and let me edit this bad boy. So as a Master Sergeant, I guarantee she probably does this on the civilian side, and she's been doing this probably for at least a decade. She should know better as a leader of public affairs people that this probably isn't a good idea, but said, hey, we all have a soft spot for our kids. I know I do. I've done some ridiculous things just to make my little boy laugh, or like make my daughter laugh, talk in a funny voice, stuff like that. But there needs to come a time where you need to realize that you're still a professional, and an oath of enlistment is not maybe the time to have a puppet of a T-Rex head while you're taking the oath of enlistment. And then, there's what baffles me, and something Minx brought up when we were talking earlier, is the people that are just going, it's funny, lighten up, this is humor. No.
Why are you guys being so salty about it? I know, what people who say that? Why are you so salty about it? No, people who tell me shit like that.
Why are you being so extra?
Exactly. Why are you being so salty about it? That right there, that is the common excuse or the common question for individuals that know something is fucked up, but want it to go by, that want it to slip, and want me not to fucking say anything about it. Hey, Lori, what's going on? But, anyways, yeah.
I'm looking at the comments right now, and the PA's image currently isn't suffering enough, I guess. Some people are actually, what a mockery, and I love the security badge. Oh yeah, you totally missed it. She's got a security badge.
And that's another thing too. Is it the fact that, because I will know this after stepping into your world, you guys are some I thought military intelligence and aviation had some fucking backstabbing motherfuckers. Jesus Christ. You guys are competitive. You guys are real competitive.
Speaking of competitive, the Keith Elware Awards came out today. Congratulations to all the winners and honorable mentions and whatnot. There was a lot of they changed up the awards. There's a lot of categories that didn't have anyone enter because it was a last minute. They finally agreed and no one had time to put the product towards it. But to the winners out there, congratulations in case anyone listening. Yes, it is a very tough field. because everyone's always trying to get their 15 minutes of fame.
Yes,
regardless
yes,
if we're the ones
yes.
behind the camera or in front of it.
Yes, that's what I noticed. You guys are media whores. You guys are attention
I will
whores.
tell you, we are egotistical, narcissistic
Fuck
maniacs.
yes.
I am, and I have no qualms about it. I
like
tell my wife all the time. I walk the line between confidence and arrogance every day of my life.
I like narcissism. Don't get me wrong. My ex called me that a lot, but I'm just saying, there's nothing wrong with that. But my whole point, there's nothing wrong with that. Especially if you're good. I know some good PAOs that are fucking good, but I know some arrogant PAOs who are pieces of utmost fucking shit.
Me.
Well, yeah, I don't think you're.
But it could be a very like you'd be surprised if anyone, like when we had one of our own a couple of months ago. Unfortunately, demons got to him, and he couldn't get past it, and it was very sad. And public affairs world came together, especially it was Army public affairs, came together really quickly, and we do that. But on a normal day-to-day, everyone wants to be the shining star.
Fuck yeah. Oh my God.
I knew a guy who wanted to be the shining star of 1st Cav Division and would try to undercut you any way he could to make sure that General Bills knew that this is the person who was doing this video.
Yes,
who's doing that.
Oh my God.
It was like, oh, that's his idea, but I could do it this way and better.
Yeah. You guys, not only that, but you guys also fucking, if you don't credit something, holy fuck, something was sent to me by PAO in the main page, and I was like, yeah, I'll throw it. And they became fucking, they lost their shit because they didn't get, because sometimes the main page highlights good shit from units. And holy crap, these dudes were like, "Woo, man! You didn't credit them? That's like you said, it's their portfolio." Which brings me to another question. You were talking about this as well. There's somebody who has the ass, who is I guess because a U2 pilot took pictures of himself flying in a U2. And when he took pictures of himself flying in a U2. A U-2 is a reconnaissance aircraft that goes all the way up in space. So it literally goes almost all the way up along the curvature of the Earth. Because, the Earth is not flat. It's the curvature of the Earth. And he takes awesome pics. The guy even tells you what kind of picture, what kind of camera he's using and all that. So I kind of like, oh, okay. I talked to some people that are in that group. And they were telling me that there was actual hate. That there was actual assault because this guy was taking these awesome pictures, and he was selling them. You were just telling me, Flash, there is no book, so why was everybody getting the ass about him taking pictures with his camera to sell? And they were badass fucking like sunrises and sunsets.
Because everyone's so like, I remember I took I got authorization. I was like, hey, I wouldn't like, I don't have a camera. My daughter's going to be doing horse lessons. Can I take pictures? And I got my boss like, yeah, sure. He said, but I do have to say, you can't make money off these. I'm like, too easy. I said, so if I put my watermark and give them away, he goes, that's fine.
But where does it say that?
I had somebody go, did you sell these, this, that, and the other? And I got the 8th degree or whatnot on it. And I was like,
why?
No, I gave it away because you use government equipment to make money.
That's not
Can't
the point.
do that. The government's the only one who can make money.
No. But that's not the point. You took the picture. It was you that took it. And yes, like I know guys that fucking that have made awesome deployment fucking pictures of them flying in the mountains of Afghanistan or the rolling deserts in the in the northern mountains of Kurdistan, the rolling hills. It looks like fucking Colorado Springs, man. It looks like, if you've never been to Kurdistan, it looks just like fucking, it's northern Iraq for you people who don't believe it or whatever, or not whatever. But Kurdistan, it is beautiful. If you've never been to northern Iraq or the other Iraq, or Kurdistan is what I like to say, you cannot believe the beauty and the majesty of those mountains. You're just like, wow. When it snows up there, you're thinking, why isn't anybody opening up some freaking ski lifts and building some cabins out there? Well, it's because they're mined. Some combat skiing, I guess. But this individual took pictures of the mountains. Great mountains. I mean, great pictures. He hiked up some of these mountains, or not really hiked, but he was setting up OPs and all that. We'd fly out there, and they'd drop them off, setting up OPs and all, and taking great pictures. and he went back to his unit and sold them, made fucking thousands. He's probably a millionaire. But he took a picture of him. He did it while he was deployed. People win film awards. People are making money off piles of sandbag pictures or the way it's black and white. So why can't this guy, in the opportunity where he's at, take a picture of the fucking atmosphere or the sky, and then that's it? Why? Who cares?
The problem is, the military public affairs still does not know how to keep up with everything going on.
Correct. With the
back
technology,
when,
of course.
At one point, public affairs after Vietnam, public affairs was nearly non-existent for the longest time because, one, they're like, oh, we don't need it. Two, they felt public affairs more of a nuisance than anything else. Hell, we had civilian journalists in Vietnam who thought, they thought military public affairs was a joke, and it really was, to be honest. And now we've got some more creative folks, but it's, as soon as anyone can make something that does not have the Army seal on it, everyone loses their shit. Everyone's always trying, well, I didn't do that, but he shouldn't have done that, so I'm going to go tell on him. It's weird how quickly people in public affairs turn on each other. Here's some other comments that came from the public affairs world about this video. For real, though, this is why combat armed troops talk so much crap about PAO. We do this to ourselves. And then another, forget PAO. This is exactly why the rest of the military hates the Air Force. This is the same organization that last year told children that Santa didn't exist. Absolutely deplorable. Yes, this is the 118th Air Wing. It was Master Sergeant Robin Brown, who is I guess she's oh, dang, I just lost what she is. But she's a public affairs type that does community coordinating. So it's... But then there's a couple of folks that are just
They need to pull their stick, Flash. They need to pull.
I don't see what all the fuss is about. This is just
Flash. The Flash. They need to pull their stick out of their ass, is what it is. Because I'm serious. Because if there are some things like, you don't ruin fucking Santa, that you don't ruin a tradition. It's bad enough that the Air Force hates anything religion, anyways, and it's so tense and so touchy to come to that subject that I don't understand why. Like you just said it right there. They feel like they need to have a hand in it. Why do public affairs officers or NCO professionals feel that when you take a picture of something and you were on a deployment and then you make money off of that, who cares? Look at exactly that. There's videos of fucking YouTubes of tanks that people are not monetizing. I don't
shoot. I've had somebody try to monetize one of my pictures that they stole off. They took off of Divids, and for the longest time, it was on a Facebook page, something for vets. It was actually one of my first photos I actually took and published. And for the longest time, I'm like, hey, you at least can give me a credit for that one, because they were not only selling the photo, but they were selling a bunch of other photos that people that I knew. Photos were being used, especially one guy named Ken Scar, who's been I think he's been everywhere and stuff, including, I think they did Time magazine did a whole layout of his photos in Afghanistan. It's really talented, but they were selling his too. It's, honestly, when it comes to that stuff, it's very touch and go. Like there's
it's not
again.
It's not. It's opportunity.
There's no real set rule.
Exactly.
You can't use government equipment to make money.
No, but I'm saying, but how do you know it was government equipment? I have seen PAs.
Now you can, depending on how you have your camera and how new your camera is, you can actually check the metadata on the file itself, and actually can figure out exactly which camera and which serial number.
Of course,
they can actually go.
Yeah, of course.
They can do that. That was something I learned in my
you can.
My 4-6 Sierra training. Our instructor was like, you can do this, stomp, 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 but you're going to get caught. But you can actually go through the metadata and find out if it. Now, is somebody really going to do? I mean, I've only heard of maybe one person in uniform actually getting hemmed up for making money off, and they really got a counseling statement going, "Hey, don't do that again with this camera." That was about it. So
meanwhile,
it's very few that people actually.
Meanwhile, if you look at senior NCO, PAO, fucking personal web page, they talk about this that they did, or they shot this pic, and they got this, and they get some fucking award for it, or you know what I mean? It's a double fucking standard. The way I see
it's funny because the senior public affairs NCOs and officers, they're like that old guy at the bar that's telling war stories because they know they ain't getting in the field anymore. It's very hard. It's more it's easier for apparently the reserve NCOs to be, as you're a sergeant first class and master sergeant, to get out there in the field. In active duty, when you hit about staff sergeant or sergeant first class, you're no longer going out in the field. You're leaving that to your specialists and your sergeants. You're now in the office, and they become the whole old man telling how great the stories were.
Or they see an opportunity to go out and do the story and go out and bump the fucking kid themselves and totally fucking up there.
I got bumped off of
I know.
story.
Oh, I know.
Because my station commander in Afghanistan was like, "No, I want to go do this," and he went out for 3 days, had a grand old time hanging out with these Austrians and shit. I'm like, "That's cool. Don't worry. I'm only a young journalist that's just trying to, get my foot in the door and, be awesome and make a name. You're only been this for like 16 years doing public affairs. You'll be okay."
Not to mention the fact that if you don't, because look at all the outreach stuff and all that, you might be surprised how much your or your regiment or whatever you guys are called, your branch. I guess it's our branch.
Not a branch.
We're
still not a branch.
Really?
We're actually working on our own regimental pin finally.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, okay.
We're just like a weird mix. Like we have the AG regimental pin. Where we finally got our own credo or something like we. There's stuff.
So you guys are like
trying to do to make us more legitimate, like everyone else. It's just we're public affairs, so for some reason it's taking us longer than it should. Fucking public affairs.
Yeah, I was just asking, bro.
Fucking public affairs. I mean, I love public affairs. It's the job that I do now. It's the only reason why I stay in the reserve, because it's a great job and do great things. But we do get to this point where, we have senior public affairs folks that want to relive the glory days where they were, they were on TV, they were doing something special, and maybe this Air Force Master Sergeant thought, you know what, this would be a really cool video to do. It'd be kind of cool for my kids, but it'll show the lighter side of the military, and decide I'm going to be the guinea pig. I'm going to be the person that people talk about. Now, probably not this way, but or that could very much happen is they have no idea that she had no idea, one, that this was going to go on social media, or two, well, no, that's it. The only way this makes it is okay is if it just somebody accidentally posted it on Facebook and then it went crazy. But if any other reason,
but if it went good, they would take credit for it.
And they're wrong.
But if that viral post went good, they would immediately try to slap a label on. Because like you said, man, they make fucking intention whores and ducklet bitches fucking. I was shocked, being in this world of journalism, and holy crap. I mean, I've had some mentorship, well, mostly from you and a couple others. I've had some Comcam mentorship on that end, then I've had some, you and some other people, trying to help me out with this stuff. Damn, holy crap! I don't even know where to begin. What's that? Well, what are you talking? Somebody busted some. Who's Lori? They were mocking my daughter and said she was overreacting, mother, and then don't come back for 3 days. That Presley will be fine. Here's the thing, her resting heart rate. Whoa, what's going on? Whoa, what am I missing?
What's going on?
Yeah. Oh, I'm reading something. Let's see. Yeah. So what happened with Lori?
I need to talk to you offline about that person.
Okay, gotcha.
But it's you're right, exactly. If that would have been a good video, and everyone would have loved it, they would have came out, peacocked and everything, taking full credit for it. But because now I guarantee everyone's running and hiding. I mean, it made the Air Force Times has picked it up. Military Times. Luckily, none of the major outlets really care about it enough. They don't understand, which is fine. But it already doesn't make us look good as a profession. It doesn't make the Tennessee Air National Guard look good. Hell, it doesn't make the Air Force or National Guard. It doesn't make anybody look good. And it was a selfish act that somebody thought was cute. And I'm not saying it's not a cute idea. Just don't do it when people are recording. Like you have to know that, I know that if I take pictures that there's a good chance that they're going to end up on Facebook or somewhere because, you know, it's the easiest way for me to keep up with my grandparents in New York and all across, you know, my family across the country know, you know, what's going on with my little ones. It's easier to post that than send a giant text message that's going to keep rebounding over and over again. But you have to know that anytime you post anything on social media, it's going to find its way out there. Like I've had to pull down sites off of Facebook because somebody took my pictures and me, even though I have my security tight, but they still were able to find pictures of me and make fake profiles. It's that easy. It's not that hard to do.
Oh yeah, I know.
I mean, a lot of stuff ends up on Google if you if you do the right research. I mean, you have to be very careful. But somebody thought this was a good idea. The commander there, the colonel, the officer, apparently didn't see anything wrong with recording it or doing it altogether. And it's a failure on a leadership level. It's a failure on a public affairs level. It's hard enough to keep public affairs people in public affairs. Let alone try to get them to go, hey, I know you want to make more money on the outside, but still serve your country and join the Air National Guard or the Army Reserve or whatever. It's already hard enough to get them to at least make that jump over to the part-time military service. But, I mean, like somebody said, you know, we keep doing this to ourselves.
Yeah, exactly.
It's you know, at public affairs, they should know better. We keep doing this to ourselves. And, you know, every time public affairs does cool things and we have awesome people like 1st Cav Division have been putting together some good videos. The All-American Division, as much as I like to pick on them on Twitter, they've been just stunting out.
10th Mountain has been doing
stuff.
Yeah, 10th Mountain's been is starting to come out. I mean, whoever is doing their structure of timeline setups, awesome. I mean, keep up that good work. They're
really showing a lot of thought behind how we're not just releasing videos to release it.
Exactly.
We're releasing it on a schedule, you know, with some thought behind it, and it's great. But then you get stuff like this, and then as soon as they came out that it was a public affairs person, it just took us 2 steps back.
Yeah.
Because now it's like, cool, public affairs people are meshing together these awesome videos, and they're getting out there.
Yep. Because
people don't realize we're out there, you know, especially for 82nd Airborne. You know, while they're getting those cool videos of people, dropping out the plane and everything like that. Those public affairs people that are recording that are probably out there at least 3 to 4 hours beforehand, triple checking that they're in the right damn spot, but making sure they don't miss it. So they're hours before the damn flight even happens, and then hoping that God they have a flight out or a Humvee or something to get the hell out of there afterwards, so they can crash this out. And there's a lot of work that goes before and after the initial action that we record, and all this hard work, all the great videos and all the props we've been getting. But then we have a public affairs person who just blatantly says, fuck it. This will be cute for my kids. Granted, if it was just her kids were there, it would have been better if the kids released in the damn shot.
Exactly that.
But
exactly that.
So all I saw initial, it wasn't until I started doing digging, all I saw was Air Force Master Sergeant and a colonel doing oath of enlistment half-assedly, and with the damn T-Rex head.
With a puppet.
With a fucking puppet. I mean, it wasn't, you know, from just off of initial, that's what I saw. Air Force fucking up oath of enlistment. And then it became Air Force Public Affairs. Then it was the Tennessee Air National Guard. And then it was for their kids. And it's like, oh, I should feel bad, but I don't. You're just being stupid.
Exactly. Hey, we're gonna take a break. Gonna go to the third segment because now we're gonna pick on the media.
Yes, we are.
We're gonna pick on more media. Actually, this is even more picking on more media, but that's none of my business picking on media. So we're gonna take a break and then we'll be back. So shouts.
love visuals.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Everything stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments.
Price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
please enjoy the show. Shots.
Hey, we're back. Part 3, WTFNationRadio.com's Monday edition with Flash and Ice. And, yeah. Hey, so, look. We have been watching the news. Everything going back and forth about what's been going on in this current administration. Doesn't really seems like it's been getting off to any start. I have yet to see anything like policy making. I've yet to see anything since the current administration has been in office. Everybody getting fired, fucking.
It's a political apprentice.
Yeah, exactly. She just the constant freaking bombardment of what this president or not president's doing. So, which again, it's no. Every president's going to take a criticism, but I've never seen in my lifetime any president take as much as this. So there's been some defenders and there's been some offenders of the administration on all types of media except for one. We all know who that one is because we like to talk shit about Fox News all the time. We talk shit about everybody. There's some things.
We're talking about Fox News? Oh, crap.
Yeah. Oh, wait, hang on.
We're going to make someone mad.
Everything stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments.
price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries.
Anyway, so the thing is that Fox News has been, of course there has been, everyone says, hey, look, if you're going to fucking show something, show it. If you're going to prove something, prove it. We've all been like that. Let the pundits fucking be pundits. Let them all talk back and forth about whatever they're going to talk about and whatever. Sean Hannity, on the other hand, has been extremely protective over.
Sean Hannity is something special.
It has been doing something very, he's been defending D. Treasy, big time. I mean a lot of stuff.
He's been the
broken record.
Fox News' golden boy. He was under the shadow of Bill O'Reilly for the longest time. But then when Bill O'Reilly got ousted from Fox News, he's literally been not only the biggest proponent for Donald Trump, no matter what. Everyone else on the Fox News staff has taken shots when he's backpedaled off of things. He, though, will defend anything Donald Trump does, even if he backpedals on a campaign promise. He will defend him and everything. And the man has become quite popular since Bill O'Reilly has left as the main Fox News guy. Well,
now he really is the main Fox News guy. So I keep saying she, is because Stormy Daniels went up there and testified. Everybody knows about the drama going on with Stormy Daniels and the porn star and all the drama that's happening. Everybody knows about that. Everybody knows about the porn star, and I could care less. When people started going into the investigation of the special counsel, come to realize that during the testimony of Mark, it's not a testimony because he didn't swear an oath. He didn't do a dino head puppet oath. He was in front of Congress and he said that he was approached by the special counsel. When the Honorable Pompeo was being the former chief of the CIA was being during his confirmation hearing, it was almost a bombardment on him about what his status was and what he knew about Russian collusion or whatever. And it was asked, "Have you been interviewed by the special counsel?" And I'm thinking, holy crap, the special counsel is asking everybody in this fucking realm. So now it gets to the president's personal aide, the personal lawyer, and this whole thing with all this political drama. Nobody knows who to believe, nobody knows who to talk to, whatever. So everyone's all pissed off about who's doing what, who's talking this, and who's talking that. Now, when this information broke right before we started the show, I've been getting inundated with freaking emails and all that. And make sure that you're talking about the situation and how blah blah. I'm like, hey, we're collecting notes together as this nation because I want you guys to know what the fuck's going on. I'm not hiding anything, but if you don't know what's going on right now, is that the lawyers, the personal lawyers of the president, is being called to testify about possible criminal activity, and Stormy Daniels, the porn star, is being adult entertainer, is being called to testify, yada yada yada, because there was a seizure of some documents. Well, during the at federal court in New York, going through their hearing, Michael Cohen, who is the president's personal lawyer, revealed that, and everybody was wondering how, and everybody was like, wow, is Sean Hannity just that good of a fucking journalist? Is Sean Hannity that great at this? Does he really know the insides and outs, the ins and outs of Hollywood, of Washington and all that? He touts constantly on the network that all the things that he talks about, he gets
He's
it
got
first.
special sources and stuff like that. He's always got something where he can get the, well, CNN, MSNBC, blah blah blah.
They don't know
because I've got the special in, and that, like
exactly.
He's touted it a couple of times. It's not like a one-off thing.
Yeah, it's not like and he's touted that to the entire country, or whoever listens or watches Fox News. I flip channels a lot because if I want to see like fucking crazy ass shit, bombs dropping and stuff like that and all that, then I'll watch Fox News because they support the troops by showing a lot of our tech blowing shit up. Not as much as they used to, but they will catch a briefing or something like that. If you want to watch a briefing about your DOD or the Pentagon, watch Fox News, or be an old man like me and wait till it comes on C-SPAN, and then I watch it on C-SPAN. When you're watching C-SPAN, it's basically somebody gets a camera, flips the switch on, and records, and you're hearing everything. You're hearing it's basically like you're watching B-roll. So you just sit there and watch and say, I'm going about my day. Now, so one of the things, like you said, Flash, and you are correct, he was saying on the air that everyone else is full of shit because he has in and he is pretty confident, then yada yada yada. There's no way there's collusion. There's no way this. Well, today the proverbial fucking bomb dropped on Sean Hannity. Michael Cohen revealed in court that Fox News was one of the Fox News hosts was one of his clients. And that client was Sean Hannity. Everyone's talking about this who gave money to what. Everyone's talking about who's been doing this. How is this information coming out? How is it this? How is that?
Now, initially, you might be sitting there going, "Who cares?" You're allowed to obtain lawyers, but the problem is, Cohen is a special lawyer. Like, he doesn't have a whole job. He handles special clients. He handles big clients. There's a lot going around exactly what kind of relationship Sean Hannity has with Cohen, and does he know anything about the collusion? Blah blah blah. It's a whole mess of things, but pretty much the door has been slammed on Sean Hannity. Now everyone knows who sources. Does that break a couple of unethical realms about getting about the sources, and how they're coming in? There's a whole lot of stuff going on with it. So much so, Gabe Sherman from Vanity Fair, special correspondent for MSNBC, was on tonight, kind of talking about why this is such a big deal. Now, no one believes the reason why he's got Cohen as a lawyer because he's got some stripper or porn star that they're trying to pay off in any way or form. But last year when there was a whole boycott Sean Hannity for this, that, and the other, and he felt that apparently he got very paranoid last year and felt that, and again, this is according to, as Gabe Sherman says, according to 3 sources within Fox News, that Sean Hannity actually was getting paranoid that there was some Soros campaign to get him kicked out, to get him off the air. He felt after all the boycotts and everything that he was being targeted, so he wanted to protect himself. So he sought Cohen. Now, they're still trying to figure out the whole money thing, whether Cohen set up some kind of consulting thing to get paid, but There doesn't seem to be a specific, Sean Hannity handing Cohen money. But then, funny enough, actually on the segment with Gabe Sherman, Sean Hannity actually messaged the anchor and was like, "What he's saying is a lie."
Yes.
That's,
Well, he's on the air.
I wasn't, doing it
Well,
because
it
of
was
any
on the
kind
air.
of,
Exactly.
Conspiracy.
Exactly. He's like freaking. He only said maybe I might have used him for some real estate deal for $10. Hey, look, I, being of litigious experience, I know going through divorces, you don't retain lawyers for $10. Consultation fees for ICE and his divorces go $2,500 for the first meeting. That's the way I roll.
You've got a gold card at this point.
I diversify my bonds and ensure that I'm getting good lawyership. Okay, so when it comes to something like that, they're not just doing $10 for some sort. I may have given him for some sort of transaction. That's what he said. No, wow, dude, really? You're gonna say that? You were. And so once you brought and you said, Flash, I love how you said that. You like pay close attention to Fox News to see how much they don't talk about it. No shit. From the moment you told me until right before showtime, I was watching Fox, which was the longest I could tolerate. Because like I said, I only watched it for a little bit. And holy crap, they avoided and skirted that like crazy. They were actually, it was almost looking like they were scrambling to ensure that the hosts did not fuck up of all the shows prior to that, to ensure they were talking about Syria, to make sure they were talking about Russians, to make sure they were talking about our new tech, which I could give a fuck less about missiles. And then people start, and Raytheon really made those missiles. Okay, wow. I didn't realize Raytheon was a paid plug to be on the fucking network. Holy crap. They literally, like you said,
they took as long as possible.
They were
as soon as the story broke.
Yes, they were dragging the shit out.
I always keep the big outlets on, like Politico, MSNBC, CBS, CNN. I keep them all on my tabs on my computer, and I will flip through because I like to know what's going on for both my job and for WTF. And as soon as it broke, CNN had an article on the front page. There was all of their Twitters, and Fox is like, what's going on over here? Don't look that way. Sean Hannity's over there. We're looking over here. Look at these missiles hitting Syria. And MSNBC did the same thing. They're like, what does Sean Hannity know? Why is this important? He's the mysterious client that he wouldn't talk about. And Fox News is over there going, look at that. Illegal aliens, the wall.
Bro, everybody is now shifted from fucking Stormy Daniels to Sean.
It's like
I was like
Donald Trump was like, "Hey, Sean Hannity, you need to take one for the team."
Exactly that.
You need to take one for the team on this one.
Exactly.
But I mean,
everything stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of.
Okay, there you go.
Damn, twice in the same show.
I had to, man.
Twice the same.
I don't want to be like an Art Bell show and fucking have my fucking equipment go down, and also my phone start fucking acting all weird and shit. Hi.
But yeah, I mean, so Gabe Sherman, the Vanity Fair special correspondent for MSNBC, posted out that he was feeling very paranoid, especially since he was getting all these boycott things. He's been the only person who has been unequivocally, this is the red line for Donald Trump, and you will not cross it. I will defend him. He could kick a baby right now, and I will defend how he just saved American lives by kicking the baby.
Well, my biggest point is this. Is that if, as a reporter, as a journalist, now this is one thing that you were in my journalism school from Flash, I learned that as a journalist, you don't even want to be involved in any involvement or anything in the middle of something that has to do with anything that would appear unethical to the government or would wind up putting me in fucking jail for taking, I don't know, conspiracy charges or anything that has to do with racketeering, anything that has to do with that type of big, because right now the FBI looks bad. Right now fucking the administration the president's personal lawyer looks bad. You could sue me, take me for all I fucking got. I don't care. I have nothing. If anything else, it was the taxpayers. Actually, I paid for my own shit. You're not gonna get anything from me. But now all of a sudden it is a big deal that Stormy Daniels, and then let's talk about Syria and let's talk about this, let's talk about that, because they were so quick on. They were so quick, and Stormy Daniels pissed me off when she was talking at the presser in front of the courthouse today. How this president treats women and how shut the fuck up. If you were a fucking porn star and you were there to entertain and you were doing escort shit and you took money for it, you're not fucking. There's no victiming there. At all, zero.
Yeah, the whole Stormy Daniels thing it's weird. It's like everyone's like, he had sex with a porn star, so he wasn't on government time, and I don't care enough about what he does in his bed. I don't even want to imagine it because it gave me nightmares and shit. But like everyone's like, but he paid him off, so this exactly shit wouldn't happen. Apparently, money not well spent. But I mean, he's not just a journalist at this point. He's a major news outlet commentator. He is in all intents and purposes the face and voice of Fox News, just the same way Bill O'Reilly for the longest time was the face and voice of Fox News. He's been the golden child. Fox News has protected him from every little thing. I mean, they've protected him more than any other person. When Donald Trump came after Megyn Kelly, they didn't give a shit. But anyone comes after Sean Hannity, Fox News will go at them like nobody's business.
Well, I mean,
but now instead of telling the story, now he's part of the story.
Now he's part exactly that.
And that's what is going to make it harder. How is any was it Fox News' thing is fair and balanced? If I got my slogans right. And how can you be fair and balanced when you're now part of the story? You apparently can now not commentate or cover any stories that have to do with this because you're now tainted. If Fox News is smart, you won't be covering this stuff because it's going to make the network look bad. But Fox News is kind of like the drunk uncle who just doesn't care and will shoot bottle rockets at you just for fun. Like it's weird. It's weird how this is going down now. It's going to be funny because the anchor for MSNBC, after she got the message from Sean Hannity, who pretty much said Gabe Sherman's a liar, that he didn't seek counsel for, because he was paranoid or whatever, and she actually invited him to come on the show. Will he come on the show? Probably not. Now, you actually mentioned during his radio show today, he skirted the whole thing.
Oh, yeah.
Not a care in the world,
Yep.
and that's the best way to put it, because honestly, in the surface, to me, so he has a lawyer that's the same as Trump. Okay. When you dig a little deeper and you start asking questions like, could he have unethically got sources from the president?
Bingo.
Information from the
That's
president
what I was.
through him?
Bingo.
Ooh, that's now we're starting to go. Could he have gotten money or favors or anything to keep saying nice things?
Nice things about the president. Exactly that. Exactly that.
Like,
that's what I was looking at. That
worse, and it's kind of like as you think about it, it gets worse and worse. So
that's the angle I was looking at.
Is this a big deal or not?
The angle is exactly the angle I was looking at. Special treatment. Now look, you're paying reporters off. The only time I would ever pay a reporter off would be to get the fuck out of my face. Dude, you stop. If I give you $10 to go fucking cross the street and leave me the fuck alone or something, whatever. Wait a minute, that's me. That's not. That's what I'm seeing. Like you said, he's part of the story. I'm seeing the way he's handling the story. I'm seeing the way the network is handling the story. And now people are starting to ask, hey, wait a minute. If anything else, now Cohen, now you have to think about this. Cohen, I think, has been thrown under the bus by everybody. This guy has nothing to fucking lose.
I'm surprised no one's come out and be like, he should be disbarred, even though he hasn't really done anything wrong. But we're going to disbar him anyways.
Yeah, exactly. And so that everyone says that there might now all of a sudden attorney-client privilege is a bigger deal. So the statement that he made on his radio, that's what I was telling you, that he made on his radio show, or inconsistent, that was through the statement through Fox News. That's what I'm going to tell you. Him saying that I might, when he says, quote, I may have handed him $10 and said, I definitely want your attorney-client privilege on this, something like that. I requested that privilege with him when you ask him. No, attorney-client privilege means that when you are involved in a civil or a legit fucking if I'm going to trial, once I retain an attorney, then it's fucking The way I see it, that should be fucking whatever. But if you're working, I know fucking lawyers and PAOs and commanders and pilots and fucking individuals that work within the structure of a multi-star headquarters. And do I schmooze them up a little bit, or they schmooze me up a little bit for some streets or for some info or some rumors on a promotion or something like that? Of course we do, right? Everybody does that. Everyone does that. But like you said, once you become part of the story, everyone is like, that's when you start becoming like, dude, fucking chill. He is supposed to be what he says he is an opinion journalist, right? He's supposed to be both sides. He's supposed to be, towing that fucking line of, hey, yeah, fucking this is what's going on with this, what's going on with that. But up until this point, up until this dropped, he would not shut the fuck up and repeat himself on a lot of shit. I mean, everything. If you watch a Sean Hannity show, you will get repeated over and over and over again. And you don't have to worry about his monologue. It's the same thing, unless he's got a guest or something like that, or he has a military analyst or somebody who works in policy. He'll have a couple of guests on that, and then, of course, they get to talk or whatever. But, dude, when I heard that, everyone's trying to find out who his clients are because of this, and like you were saying, Flash, it kind of ties, to me, everything together. Come on, man. Now the media is part of this shit?
And then it gives credence to CNN and MSNBC when they feel like Donald Trump, we've seen it happen. He's done it in press press conferences where he's totally went like, you're fake news.
Exactly.
Okay, to your thing. And it goes to, okay, where do journalists draw the line?
Yeah, and these journalists right now that they've been called fake news can turn around and say, then what is Fox News then? If you're calling us fake news because we were in bed with the administration and you were saying that we were doing what the administration was touting and pushing their agenda, now that this has been revealed, what do you call Fox News now? What category do you put them in? I'm purely asking.
It sounds like White House propaganda.
Oh, damn! Sounds like that's like the 1984.
I'll throw the gauntlet down.
Ooh,
I dare anyone to cut me. Feel free to call in and debate me on that.
It's getting hot in here. Oh Lord!
When you have an organization, when you have the White House that apparently has the direct line to the golden child of a major news outlet who's already on the GOP balls. I mean, I'll call it as I see it. Fox, MSNBC is to the DNC as Fox is to the GOP. It's that easy. Rachel Maddow would switch from being a lesbian to being a hetero just to spend one night with Obama. The same way as Sean Hannity, I guarantee, probably has thought about to be with Trump. But that's the. But once you've had that, if they establish that connection and find any inkling that there was stuff given that wasn't given to anyone else, and that Fox News always had these special scoops, then Fox News no longer is a news outlet.
No.
They're a propaganda machine for the White House.
Yes.
They, as much as I hate saying that, I hate calling anyone propaganda. That's exactly what they are.
Yeah. Oh, god damn.
Or at least the main show, the main star attraction of this thing.
Exactly.
Is a
Light them up.
propaganda
Let's get the gas. Yep.
for,
Let's get the gas.
So it's like the White House has Sean Hannity, propaganda machine for Fox News.
Damn.
Also on Fox News.
Oh my god. Damn, Flash, you're savage tonight. Holy shit. I think like 1984's George Orwell, you know what I'm saying?
It's, we're, man, public affairs and ethics and journalism and everything. Maybe it's because I was stuck in traffic. Like, I didn't get to work until like 10:30 this morning, and I usually get to work at like 7:45. So there's a big time gap. So I'm a little frustrated and shit. But it's literally what it is. If you take away that you have other Fox News who always lean right. It's a state of facts. If you only want to hear your point of view, and if you're a GOP or whatnot, then Fox News is more your style. But Sean Hannity has tainted Fox News. Now, if you assume that Fox News isn't all bad and everything like that, and they're not a bunch of douchebags, I like to think that not everyone's a bunch of douchebags. At least the golden child, the number one person on Fox News is the mouthpiece for the White House. And that's not a good thing at all.
No, it's not.
Because
No,
that's
it's not.
how, like, if you watch V for Vendetta,
Yes.
that's exactly how. That's exactly what that is.
1984.
We don't need that.
No, 1984. I mean, if you notice, there has been a lot of. Now I'm going to say this. Ooh, let's go. I mean, we're slowly rolling into the political, the political maze of. Okay, Heather Nauert was a Fox News anchor, journalist, and now she is a spokesman for the State Department. And there's a lot of Fox News alumni that have worked in the administrations, both administrations too, and there's been some DoD personnel that have moved into specific information. But when I talk about 1984, if you guys ever read the book 1984, it is when you hear Big Brother or you hear Orwellian. It was written by, and it's actually fascinating because it was written in 1949 by George Orwell. And it was, it was freaking talks about super states and all this other stuff. And it's called talks about what the thought police is about, that persecutes individualism and independent thinking, which are regarded as thought crimes. And what the whole thing is that it is obviously freaking, talks about the party. The party seeks power for its own sake. It is not interested in the good of the others. It is solely interested in the power of the party. Now, there's different ministries within this environment in the book 1984. There's the Ministry of Love, and there's the Ministry of Truth. Guess where you're getting your information from, son? Ingsoc is going to give it to you. So read the book, watch the movie. Don't smoke weed when you do it, though.
What's funny is CNN's actually saying the same thing we are.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll skip the beginning part. While his off-air relationship might be just a logical extension of Hannity's on-air cheerleading for Trump, it still came as a surprise, immediately raising questions about both Hannity and Fox. By any standards of any normal newsroom, the Cohen-Hannity relationship is a glaring conflict of interest. Fox is not a normal newsroom, and Hannity's viewpoints are not typical news typical news viewers. People who watch almost any other show would likely feel lied to when they learn something like this had not been disclosed to them. But Hannity wants him to have this kind of relationship with the Trump world. Still, Fox will still have to address these issues. A network spokesperson had no immediate comment on the matter on Monday. That's all I'll read for it because it's pretty much, it really parrots exactly what we said.
Yeah, exactly.
That this is just not. Fox News is scrambling right now because if they didn't know that there was a tie, well, they're probably pissed right about now.
They should be pissed. If they didn't know, they should be pissed. And that's it. But if they did know and they were involved, holy fuck, that's another piece of collusion. Because think about it. When the judge, when everybody in that courtroom, reporters said, everyone like went. You know what I mean? Everyone was like, who did you say? It was almost like saying, who do you work for, Flash? Well, I work for Mattis. And everyone would be like, because no one would expect you working for Mattis. You know what I mean? It would be that, was that type of...
I must tweet faster.
Exactly.
Do I tweet this? Do I send this in an email? Do I text it? Do I call somebody? Do I try to do all 3 times? I need more arms.
Well, the thing is that everybody said that, though. Everyone was like, we're shocked. Yes, information of truth. Yes, a Ministry of Truth. Yeah, there was 3... There was the Ministry of Love, the Ministry of Plenty, the Ministry of Peace, and the Ministry of Truth. And so those were the 3. Those were the 4 pillars, I guess you would say. Obviously, the Ministry of Love oversees torture and brainwashing, and then the Ministry of Truth oversees propaganda and history revisionism. So that's the whole thing. You have to read. Because the movie 1984 doesn't really put it out. It looks really fucking dystopian and kind of weird. Again, don't watch that smoking weed or LSD because you'll trip the fuck out. Read the book. Read the book instead. Yeah. I was like,
smoke weed and read the book instead.
I was like, what the fuck is this? But that the way, like you said, Flash, you bring up a good point. If they're in bed with the administration and there are things that are part of the administration that should be out, maybe let's flip it. Maybe the mainstream media isn't fucking going nuts and saying crazy ass shit. Maybe it's turned on its head. Now let's look at this through the fucking, let's wear their glasses now. This whole time, what have they been saying? Exactly that. We're the ministry of WTF.
Well, they've been saying that there's been that they've been saying since when the president was still running for office, that there was there's unfair advantages for more conservative media than not, making it harder for anyone else to get a story. Then the whole fake news thing came out. Never thought I'd think this saying when a new public affairs soldier goes like, I said something, he goes, sorry, that's fake news. I looked up and said, you shut up. What kind of crap is that? You don't say fake news over here. But, and it proves, it makes MSNBC, CNN, Politico, and all the other not right-leaning media outlets actually I feel less like they're like whiny bitches and more like, oh, well, I guess they actually seems like they had a leg to stand on. Oops, my bad. I just thought you guys were whining because your journalists couldn't get the story. I didn't realize that Trump was potentially could have been feeding stories and information and whatever else through the attorney to Hannity. That's a that's a huge revelation, because if it was like some it reminds me of House of Cards in the first season.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I was about to say. Let's call Chris Bernetti.
It reminds me of House of Cards, where Kevin Spacey's character was passing information in pretty much stories to this very young, semi-attractive. Her face. She always looks like she just had a stroke or something. But this young reporter and helping her, she's getting fame and all this other stuff and breaking these big stories, and he's getting the stories he wants out. It's almost the same exact thing, except I don't think Trump is sleeping with Hannity. But anyways, I mean, you're pretty much doing that to your cheerleader. There's a reason why Hannity doesn't say anything bad about Donald Trump. Even if Donald Trump blatantly does something, you're like, oh, God, dude. He's like, I won't talk about it then. No problem. It's just it's bad credibility for the whole organization. It makes conservative news, because not all media that's conservative is Fox News, and it's not always bad.
And
it's
exactly.
Exactly. And Alex Jones.
Well, I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Look at Breitbart.
I guess Alex Jones isn't really right wing, but anyways.
No. But Flash. But look at Breitbart. If you look at some of the things that Breitbart and Drudge. And
try saying them 5 times fast.
Yeah, Breitbart. Breitbart. If you look at Breitbart and you look at Drudge and you look at some of the other, or Fox News, they're almost, I don't want to say they're the same. Breitbart's a little bit more like weird into the nuances of they go on, and it's like I'm just pointing out what Al was saying. Well, where's the proof? Okay, so now he has revealed. For all we know, Cohen could have been just talking out of his ass by saying, Sean Hannity's my fucking my mystery guest, or my mystery fucking client, and then that would have been it. And everyone was like, what are you talking about? That's what everyone was kind of like going, like, what are you, everyone in the courtroom was like, whoa, fuck, what, did he really say Sean Hannity? And as soon as that was broke, that he said it was Sean Hannity, instead of blowing it off, or instead of getting in front of it, you think about this. Even you as a journalist, even I, everyone has our... We have our talking, we have our PAG, we have our own from what the head shed. It's like if there's something that's going to be said about any of us, we got to go into the head shed, see what the PAO's guide's going to be, and then the PAO gives it to us, and we roll out, right? That I was just surprised that
deny and make counter accusations.
Exactly, deny, make counter accusations. I don't get the fact that now exactly that, Lori. Now it's making it look like the accusers were fucking going, yeah, exactly. Now you don't know who's fucking telling. Now you don't know who the fuck is crazy. Now you don't know who's telling the fucking truth. Now you don't know who is fucking lying. I don't know now. I know I can't watch the Sean Hannity show and hear anything because now, I've seen now they're having they're losing their military analysts because they're getting disrespected by Tucker Carlson. I know that they can't have anybody on. You have military analysts that are on there that are literally.
And he's a little douchebag who apparently can't dance.
I wouldn't know.
Yes,
that.
I watched Dance with the Stars with my wife. He can't dance worth shit.
Who, General Keane or Tucker Carlson?
Tucker Carlson, and he's a little douchebag.
Well, my point being is that I don't see where they're. It's almost like they're only running 2 shows now: the 5, the press, the briefing room, and the Gutfield show, and fucking Hannity. And then in the morning, I usually the morning is whatever. Because I don't pay attention to Fox News in the morning. I don't want to listen to that. I listen to some of the things that that we have like going on in the local news or I check up on main page emails. I check up on you guys and stuff like that and all that. We shoot the shit. You guys are bugging me about coffee and shit. Everyone's running around to make sure we're staying awake. But now, what does this do now? I think if they'd gone in front of this and said, because personally, I think Cohen now is just is pouring gas on everything and saying, fuck it. If I'm getting no support and nobody's helping me out, what would you do? If you're not getting any support, fuck it. What do you have to lose? Think about this. Now the special counsel will look at him and goes, whoa, like you said, Flash, wait a minute. You are working with Hannity? What have you been giving Hannity?
I mean, this guy's been getting like dragged through the mud.
He has
I
been.
mean, it's hard enough being one of the richest guys in the country's lawyer. But like today, Stormy Daniels was on the courthouse steps going, Mr. Cohen's been running with a set of rules. I want to be like, bitch, you're a porn star. You've been running a different set of rules since you opened your legs. I mean, calm down over there. But I mean, this guy's been just.
He doesn't care about women.
Right.
Sorry. But again, I'm just sorry. I just can't take her seriously when I've seen videos. So I'm just like, he doesn't understand anything about women empowering me too.
But I mean, this guy's just getting beat, and then he's like, hey, I can't. And then the court's like, hey, you have to tell us who your third, your other client is, and he's like, Sean Hannity's like, oh shit.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what I'm saying.
I guarantee Fox News is gonna somehow now all of a sudden Fox News is gonna turn around and be like, well, Cohen is this, that, and the other, and all these different mouthpieces other than Hannity, because Hannity should be shutting the fuck up about this. But they will all somehow come out with the same line that Cohen is the problem here, and this, that, and the other. And they're going to make it about him, and they're going to make him a scapegoat, and that's how it's going to end up playing out.
Bro, if I was in Cohen's situation, I'd set the world on fire. I was like, oh, special counsel? Shit, let's work a deal, dude. You know what I mean? No, well, at that point, since I'm being dissed by
Mueller, I've got the story for you.
Exactly. Hey, since I'm being fucking dissed and since I'm getting no love and I got no support, then fuck it. Fuck it. I'm just gonna go ahead and say, you know what? A special counsel, like exactly that. Let's talk. Let's talk. As a matter of fact, I want immunity. I don't want to pay taxes for the rest of my life or some shit, something like that. Just because I just want to be done with this shit. You'd be surprised how much fucking loyalty you have when you're in a situation like that. Because motherfuckers are running away from him. And then, think about it. How many times do you think Sean Hannity has not said anything or has been ignoring him? Hey, dude, you need to give me a call. Why? Give me a call, man. No. Give me a call, dude. Come on, I don't want to talk to you anymore. Dude, I'm telling you right now, it's going to go over the... No. I'm not going to talk to you. You better... Dude, you better talk to me because right now some shit's gonna happen. No, whatever. And the next thing you know, fuck it. What does he have to lose at that point? And you're right. I've not seen anybody talking about disbarring him. At that point, I would say fifth, and then go talk to the fucking special counsel. That'd be it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I played the fifth.
Oh, I love that skit. I mean, it's. The whole thing, he's just going to, I mean, it's, what do you do? I mean, you're at the point where now this comes out and now it's becoming, this whole thing is going to blow up even bigger. They're hoping, okay, hey, look, this is what we're going to do. Syria has given us the opportunity to bomb the shit out of them. which was great because now everyone's going to talk about Syria. And should we be dealing with Syria? Should we be doing this with Syria? Should we be dropping bombs in Syria? What should we do with this and Russia and all this other stuff? And Stormy Daniels will now be a below the fold story instead of a above the fold story. And then that was all good and shit up until this came out. They're like, shit, this is worse.
This is worse. Exactly
worse
that.
than the damn porn star.
Exactly.
And now she's up on the fold with this story.
Exactly. And now,
fucking
exactly that.
on the bottom fold.
This is why you don't fucking keep pushing shit. This is why when an animal is cornered, you just leave it the fuck alone. You're just like, okay, I'm gonna walk away because, and that's what happened. Cohen is in a spot where he's like, I got fucked. Nobody's fucking taking my side. I got the entire nation pissed off at me thinking that I'm involved in some criminal activity. I have what looks like a settlement given, and nobody wants to own up to the fact, or at least, hey, look, at least take care of me. Hey, look, if you're gonna fucking, throw me in jail, at least take care of my family or something. Do something. You know what I mean? Protect my family or whatever like that. But now these records are being seized, and now everyone's freaked. Now everyone's freaked out. Now it makes sense why this whole time Sean Hannity was going apeshit. Why was Hannity going nuts?
Hannity was losing his mind about the FBI raid and everything like that. Anything happens against Trump, he's about to start fighting. Like, you better watch out. He's going to start snapping his fingers and pull out a knife and have a dance fight with
Yeah,
you.
brother, but think about this, though. He was going after this fucking raid, and he was going nuts about the raid because of why? Because they're both sharing fucking lawyers. They're both in cahoots.
He knew it was getting closer. Like,
yeah.
I think when the raid happened, he went, shit, it's getting closer.
Yeah,
you can only do so much once when you're getting close to everything.
Exactly
what do you do?
that, Lori.
You come out or just wait for the story to come out. He said, "Well, fuck."
Exactly. Lori brought up a good. How could you say there's no current? Wait a minute. How could you say there's attorney-client privilege when you haven't paid him? How do you know if it's attorney-client privilege?
Boom, $10 doesn't count if it's not a contract.
Exactly. Doesn't exactly that. How could you say it's attorney-client privilege? You can't, unless you pertain to services. That means if someone says, well, that's attorney-client privilege, that means you have retained his services to be a lawyer, to be your lawyer. And that's not, you're right. That's right, Al. That's not the reason why he was raided. It's almost like the charges won't probably stick on that anyways. It'll be more of a political thing because the warrant has to serve exactly what, and this is a Supreme Court ruling too, the warrant has to serve exactly what you were going in. So if I have say I got I have a tank that I'm not supposed to have in my house, and a warrant is served on me because I didn't fucking pay my taxes or some shit like that, and they see the tank in the house, unless that tank is worth so much amount of money, they're not going to seize that asset because it's not part of the warrant. So again, no attorney-client privilege if you didn't pay it right. It's on entity, so why are you getting so upset? I love it.
Well, this is going to be interesting, and I expect this story to not only keep evolving, but I expect us to be talking about it on the next show because this isn't going to go away. This is bad news for Sean Hannity and for Fox News. I guarantee there's some people working late night tonight going, okay, let's figure out how the hell we're going to get out of this one.
Yeah.
We'll blame the Russians.
What are you going to blame? Dude, what are you talking about? Putin just sitting there eating popcorn watching this shit.
He's like, we actually haven't really done anything.
Exactly the whole time. I bet
we're just waiting.
That's exactly. It's probably what he's doing. He's probably kicking back, going, "No, why they're getting upset with just eating popcorn." You know,
we would just poison journalists. It's that easy.
Yeah. And Russia,
America works too hard.
Exactly. You'd be surprised how much people do things for you. Anyways, so yeah, dude. I'm gonna say that. Yeah, it was one of those things to where I think I'm kind of glad it happened. Matter of fact, I'm glad it happened. I like when shit opens up like this. People being
because when this stuff happens, it's kind of like when you're getting rid of infected skin or whatnot. You're out with the bass and new stuff can come up and grow. Sean Hannity, he's in the twilight of his career. He's apparently rich. He's very wealthy. Time for him to go. It sounds like the new age of having Rush Limbaugh and Bill O'Reilly and Sean Hannity and Fox News needs to go. And hey, guess what? He did it to himself. No one's going out gracefully in Fox News.
No, and I'm going to say right now, that's the reason why you don't go on Fox News and talk about hypocrisy and you talk about all this shit and then cover-ups and collusions and secret meetings. Hey, let's sound like him for a minute. Right now, we're talking about a current government that is using that possibly paid a porn star $130,000 to shut the fuck up and not to reveal that stuff. And there could possibly have been some campaign finance law violations. However, that same lawyer that was used to retain services and all that, also in order to get the scoop from the government to ensure that proper messaging was given in a positive light, was provided money and was used with the proxy of that said attorney to promote a positive light of the administration. Hypocrisy at its best. Think about it. That's what he says all the time. So now let's flip it back now. It's him. He is the guy that I think is by proxy going through the lawyer to get to because I'm telling you, man, holy fuck. Think about it. Other news don't give a fuck about somebody getting hemmed the fuck up when it comes to something like this. I mean, come on. What was that guy's name? Blagojevich, the guy who fucking who got busted on racketeering or fucking conspiracy or something like that. Oh, Blagojevich, he's the one that had the weird hair and shit, looked like a used car salesman. Fucking bam, there you go, done. He was out, and he's out. We got other people who've been convicted and released from prison, and they're all hanging out. Nobody cared. Nobody made a big deal. Honestly, I think though he should watch it. He needs to be fucking careful with that stuff because now all this time you're talking, coming across all, you came across all holier than thou, and realizing that you're part of the holies themselves, then
Well, Politico, as a final thought, because I know we need to get into house cleaning.
Yeah, we do.
Politico put out an article saying Hannity's ethics under fire. If you want to maintain credibility with your audience and be honest with them, you have to disclose all the facts. It's a failure to disclose his relationship with Trump, and that's all I'm going to say on that. We'll see what happens come next week.
A failure to disclose. A failure to disclose. Man. Oh, it's going to be new. I love it. This is good shit. See, it's politics news and shit like that. Oh, love it. So anyways, so we're going to do some house cleaning right quick. Everybody knows we got all these platforms rocking and rolling. And I've been checking some emails. We've been getting some emails in the inbox about some stuff. And don't worry, don't sweat it. We'll answer to you guys. I know if you sent an email for us, then we'll go ahead and we do not mind getting emails from you guys. Just hit contact at WTFNationRadio.com. Ask whatever if you want to be a guest or fill out the app or whatever. And so lately I've been having issues with phones and we've been busy and all this other shit. And I got to get cracking on the headquarters admin shit. I'm failing you guys as a station manager in this aspect. Apologies, mutual apologies. But anywho, tomorrow we got a Tied Up Tuesday with Minx and Grey Cloud, and we're gonna have Tori Willitson from Dogs to Dog Tags. And Tori has over 20 years of civilian military dog training experience and has a passion for training both dogs and dog handlers for service. He's helped many of the handlers to adopt the dogs, and his broad knowledge and deep understanding of how canines can cope with stress guides this organization and promises to help at-risk veterans recovering from PTSD. Real working animals, not freaking service peacocks or platypuses or whatever. Support animals and stuff that my diabetes support dog. No. At Dogs to Dog Tags, their goal is to pair a service dog in need with a home with a veteran, and because obviously in the need of unconditional love and support. We all know that a veteran's battles aren't always over when he or she returns home, and that dedicated service dog provided at no cost. Can't wait to hear about that process. It's awesome. Can be one of the most simplest and effective ways in which all we can stand behind these brave women and men. Oh, and then next Tuesday we got Dom from Guardians of the Green Beret. We invited Don to come back. Dom, the guys from the Guardians of the Green Beret, to come back and dime out some posers. So what you guys don't realize is these guys are legit Special Forces Green Beret dudes. Done it all. All the elite training that the U.S. Army has to offer. There's some people around the world right now that say that they claim they are Super Special Forces Delta Sniper Ranger SEALs. And, yeah. So these guys have their methods of research and investigation. So they're I guess you could say they're the Special Operations Command of Stolen Valor. Because Stolen Valor are the ones that dime out guys who do that. And then they work in conjunction with Stolen Valor sometimes as well to dime out guys who are, faking Special Operations Service and being Green Berets. They all know each other. It's all that small world that they have. So he's going to come on next Tuesday to discuss he's going to give us some updates on some recent cases that they've exposed. If you go to their website at guardiansofthegreenberet.com, they have a Twitter one too, Guardians of GB, Instagram, Facebook, Guardian of the Green Beret. They have, I like the way they set it up because they're not just talking about posers. They're actually talking about heroes as well of the Special Forces community that have given themselves or sacrificed themselves or have been, awarded valorous awards through their service. So it's a great site, great guys. I'm glad to have them back on. And then next Monday we have your buddy Chad Garland. He is a reporter for the Stars and Stripes, and he's going to be joining us on Monday after next? Yeah, Monday.
A very talented writer for Stars and Stripes.
Yeah, a very talented, like the man Chad Garland, covering Afghanistan for Stars and Stripes. Chad is a veteran of the Marine Corps, and he's reported on business, politics, justice, and national security. This guy has several degrees, and he's got he is like one of the. He knows policy. He knows the inner workings of how government works. So if you guys are not involved or into that shit, it might be a boring show for you because we like talking policy. And he's Chad will be able to give us a outstanding outlook on his end as a reporter and as a journalist. I got some questions about Stars and Stripes too. I want to ask him. May 1st, Tuesday, Jessica Scott will be coming on. And she is the best-selling author of novels set in the heart of America's Army. She is a mother of 2 daughters, 3 cats, 3 dogs, and a wife of a retired NCO. She's also written for a New York Times At War blog, PBS Point of Views Regarding War, and IAVA is deployed to Iraq in 2009 as part of Operation Iraqi Freedom New Dawn, and has had the honor of serving as company commander twice. She holds a PhD in sociology from Duke University. And, indeed. So we got to call her Doctor now? Dr. Scott. So May 1st. El 1 de Mayo. She'll be coming on. She's also an active member of the Military Writers Guild and has been featured as Esquire's Esquire Magazine's Americans of the Year for 2012. So don't forget our partners, the Veterans Report, and of course, War Horses for Veterans. They're fixing to do an awesome event coming up. I can't wait to see what that is. I mean, my old ass won't be able to participate in it, but I know there'll be some young whippersnappers that'll be able to fucking knock out some of these events. And awesome work. Jim Cannon had Paul Mango on, who was a former military officer, West Point graduate, on this last Saturday. So if you jump on our Facebook page and check out the Veterans Report, you'll be able to see that. Jim's doing pretty good. He holds his own. He handles a different type of dynamic. But of course, WTF Nation, we want to provide you, the veteran community, active duty community, all the news, commentary, and opinion that we can provide. So Monday's me, Tuesdays Minx and Great Cloud. Oh, me and Flash. I'm sorry, myself and Flash. I'm sorry, I'm still ESL.
Put some respect on that name.
Oh God, put some respect on that name. Tuesdays, Minx and Great Cloud. Wednesday, we have a day off. How about that? Not training holiday, not a fucking Donza, but a day off. Because we need to chill. And I kind of like the day off thing on Wednesdays. Thursday, Sergeant's Time with me, and whoever likes to jump in and jump off while Mike Golf is chilling, taking a break for a little bit. And then and sometimes you might get one of us, or sometimes it'll just be me and Spanky blabbing about certain shit. Friday is obviously Friday Night Freedom with Minx and Pooks. And then, of course, WTF versions of Coast to Coast. It's Jay Reddy and Pooks. And I think Spurs jumps on there too once in a while for Saturday Night Savagery. And then Sunday we have the old guys, Kaz and and Al. I shouldn't say that because I'm older than Kaz. We have Kicking with Kaz on Sundays, just chilling, hang out for a couple hours and all that shit, talking about cigars, old people stuff. And then, okay, cool. Spanky has approved that. Love you too, Spanks. Approved the day off term. But yeah, again, 2000 to 2300. That is 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. for those of you that don't habla. And of course, right now, let's give some shots and love out to KJ while he's going through some stuff right now, moving. And the taco truck is in pieces, and so when he gets back, of course, the taco truck's coming back. The 25th of April, we're conducting our digital affair. Yeah, it is a digital affair. It is a digital affair. It is a virtual job fair with Hire Our Heroes, and they're going to come on the 25th of April, and they're going to be it's going to be for 3 hours, from 12 to 1500 Eastern Standard Time. It'll be a virtual career fair, a virtual job fair with WTF Nation Radio and Hire Our Heroes on the 25th, which is a Wednesday. So check it. If anything else, you will ensure that you'll get... Now, these guys provide free training, a lot of IT training. They're going to have some highlighted guests come on to the show, and we're going to have some support. So it's going to be a lottie-dottie everybody event for, well, actually, the people that can attend. So it's probably going to be Minx, and then it's going to be myself providing backup in the background to assist this virtual job fair. I think it's going to be badass. It's going to be a great thing. A lot of people like to talk a lot of shit about what they do for veterans, but don't do shit for veterans. And this is something that I wanted. I brought it up to the boss and said, hey, can we do something like this? Because this is something that I feel all of us need to do as veterans, is to help each other out, to make sure that, hey, look, like we're climbing a fucking rock, right? Climb to glory like 10th Mountain, mountain. You're sitting there climbing up, you're going to be a dickhead at the top of the fucking mountain and not hold your hand down and pick your buddy up. That's what it's all about when we do these virtual job fairs. That's what we want to start doing. We want to start doing this stuff at least annually. We want to start doing annual events on WTF Nation Radio to serve you, the veteran community, to make sure that there's some guys out there that really are fucking good at computers that just don't get that break, that just don't get that fucking phone call, that just don't get that, the extra push that they could have gotten, or don't know where to fucking go. Well, we're bringing it to you, like it or not. 12 to 1500, 25th of April. So, with that, yes, Hire Our Heroes. Check them out. I think that's it. You got anything?
And as always, don't forget we're on YouTube,
oh, yeah, that's right.
Mixer,
Yep.
Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Like us, share us, tell us how awesome we are. Tell us a little bit about yourself. We love to get to know our audience. All at WTF Nation Radio. And don't forget, you can go to WTFNationRadio.com. Download this podcast or many like it. We post those all over those different spans and whatnot. But you can go there and download it, listen to it again, pick out any of our argument, tell us we're being stupid, anything like that. Go to WTFNationRadio.com. You can also, if you want to join the WTF Nation Radio team, you can go there, or just get to know your friendly WTF Nation staff.
Exactly that. So with that, I got to throw this out one more time, because that way the bosses and the overlords at WTF land, they don't look, saying, I'm going to throw a disclaimer out. Because we've been saying fuck Sean Hannity all night.
Again?
Well, I just throw it out, just be safe.
Well, if I get sued, I know who's coming after me.
Exactly. Well, we don't know, because usually his attorneys like to hide shit. Anyways, all right. So you all have a good night, and shots. Talk to you later. Shouts.
The bitches, they love visuals.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Everything stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments.
Price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
please enjoy the show. Shots.
me what it is to see when you look at me deep into the photography. I don't really need your sympathy, just tell me your thoughts. Have I got what they got, and is it a plot done for naught? Am I not like you because I do what I do? Who knew that I could lose a few of you cause I bleed blue? But it's true, I know cause I see it every day as I work and I sleep the day away. Like you I have pain and like you I have fear. Can I pay all of the bills and still make it through the year? While I make it home alive, should I pray to the sky every day and every night? Will I hold you by my side? But in the public eye, I don't even have a heart. A robot of the system moving only when I'm told to start. Rip apart my art, I'm strong like a flower blooming. You got it all wrong, I know I breathe, and like you see, I see. And like you need, I need. And like you bleed, I bleed. Don't treat me like an object, I'm tested and proven. Mind, heart, and soul, I'll always be a human. Like you breathe, I breathe. And like you see, I see. And like you need, I need. And like you bleed, I bleed. Don't treat me like an object, I'm tested and proven. Mind, heart, and soul, I'll always be a human.
Call me a vet like a soldier. Green beret, 21 gun salute, don't wanna see the day. In the constant war zone, in the home of the brave, where they hate the police until they saving the day. I got kids like you, a mortgage like you, so blue lives matter, and so does yours too. All this separation and divide, open your eyes. If you cut us all open, we the same inside. The only difference is I run to the gunfight. Your peace when it's chaos, when the people don't act right. But I'm under scrutiny for trying to protect me. You pull a pistol and I'm shooting for trying to contest me. I got a quick second to make a deadly decision. The media betrayed me like a kid for a living, like I'm cold with no heart, a brain with no thoughts, a body with no feeling, a life with no cause.
Like you breathe, I breathe. And like you see, I see. And like you need, I need. And like you bleed, I bleed. Don't treat me like an object, I'm tested and proven. Mind, heart, and soul, I'll always be a human. Like you breathe, I breathe. And like you see, I see. And like you need, I need. And like you bleed, I bleed. Don't treat me like an object, I'm tested and proven. Mind, heart, and soul, I'll always be a human. I'm damned if I do, and damned if I don't. It's like every single time I say what's on my mind, they go for my throat, they spew evil words. If you are absurd, always grinding, grinning, and killing my soul with these verbs. Hold me down, like I can't gasp for air. I'm closed inside of a box, like I'm inside Fort Knox. Every time that I'm there, I don't know why they think that I'm different from you. All that's true is I'm a human. Like you breathe, I breathe. And like you see, I see. And like you need, I need. And like you bleed, I bleed. Don't treat me like an object, I'm tested and proven. Mind, heart, and soul, I'll always be a human. Like you breathe, I breathe. And like you see, I see. And like you need, I need. And like you bleed, I bleed. Don't treat me like an object, I'm tested and proven. Mind, heart, and soul, I'll always be a human. Like you breathe, I breathe. And like you see, I see. And like you need, I need. And like you bleed, I bleed. Don't treat me like an object, I'm tested and proven. Mind, heart, and soul, I'll always be a human. Like you breathe, I breathe. And like you see, I see. And like you need, I need. And like you bleed, I bleed. Don't treat me like an object, I'm tested and proven. Mind, heart, and soul, I'll always be a human.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.